Welcome, everybody, to a very special edition of Run the Day, the daily show from the Run the Play Network. It is the most wonderful, it is the most stressful, and ultimately the most impactful day of the year here for the MLB season. We have the MLB Trade Deadline today, and deals have been absolutely flying. The stove is hot, and every team is cooking here. We have 3 hours to go, and already Mason Miller has been traded. Yohan Duran has been traded. Eugenio Suarez has been traded, and there is still a lot of big pieces to be dealt here. But before we talk about all of this, let me welcome in my co-hosts. We got Josh and Jack. How are you guys doing today?
Good. I'm really excited to be here. Trade deadline's one of my favorite days, so let's do it.
Josh?
Couldn't agree more.
Yep. So who do we want to start off with here in terms of the pieces that have been dealt here? Because there have been a lot of big moves already.
I think you have to start off with Mason Miller and Leo DeVries.
Yeah. First time since 2017, a top 10 prospect, and that was Eli Jimenez, who was number 7 at the time, has been traded. And we just saw the number 3 prospect in baseball get traded for a very good closer. I'm not saying Mason Miller is not a good closer, but I think we can all agree bullpen wasn't necessarily the area of issue for San Diego here.
Now, you've got a bullpen with Robert Suarez already, who was on the trade block. And then when Miller got traded for about 25 minutes there, you think, oh, maybe he's going to go. And then you get reports saying, no, they want Suarez and Miller. So not 100% what the thought process was there.
I think the thought process is they're trying to build a super bullpen because they really need to have that back end of that bullpen solidified if they're going to make a deep October run. I know, Joseph, you've heard me say this before, that bullpens win baseball games and they win World Series. So, I mean, if I'm going off that mentality right there, the best thing they can do is they build up their 7, 8, 9 foundation there with some of these guys that they're obtaining. So I mean, I'm not surprised they're doing this because they're desperate to leapfrog the Dodgers and maybe win the West. If not win the West, at least make it to the World Series, if not win it. So to me, this makes a lot of sense why they would do this, because they can do all the other things. They just need to solidify that back end of that bullpen and make it more fearsome, and I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and let's not overlook the JP Sears of it all too, because he is the other guy they've acquired in this deal, and the Padres kind of have an eye for under the radar pitchers. It's just, even if Miller is last year's Mason Miller, and even if Sears kind of becomes a good number 3, I think that's about where he caps out as a starter, at least in my mind. That's not worth Leo DeVries, in my opinion. I don't think you'd have to get like Soderstrom or something for it to be worth DeVries, because who is going to be playing shortstop for this team? Because it's certainly not Xander at this point. I know they have an army of shortstops, but they're all really good at their other positions. So it just does not make sense for me in the slightest, especially because Miller was not going to help them win that division series last year. The Dodgers did not score past the 5th in all but like one game of that series. And famously, they went 26 straight scoreless innings. I don't know. I think you probably needed a catcher. And I know they just got Freddie Fermin, but it's just a baffling move.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I get obviously why a team would want Mason Miller. He's been one of the best closers for now 2, maybe even 3 years now. But still, trading Leo DeVries was a little weird to me. I mean, I get it if you want Miller, but was it really needed? No. But like Josh said, it will make them a much more of a contending team come October, and like he said, maybe even win it all.
Well, the thing about Sears too is, and I've talked to Yankees fans because he's a former Yankee prospect as well, and so with him, what they're really getting is someone who's going to help fortify the rotation even more. The rotation has been really good for the Padres as of late. And so when you have that extra arm. There's a saying in Major League Baseball. It's not a big deal, and it's a good problem to have a surplus of arms, and that's what they're doing, because we all know that injuries happen, and if you have that plethora of pitching, that's only going to help your sustainability for an October run, because that October run can take a lot out of you as a pitcher, because you're not typically used to pitching that much, right? Pitchers pitch a certain amount. Pitchers are very much a routine, very much creatures of habit. And when you're taken out of that habit to go on a long postseason run, you're different in the playoffs. You're different in an extended season. And so the more arms that you have to basically to space out those arms to continue their routine and the amount of innings that they pitch in a season, having more arms is only going to make that more possible. So they just did that with their bullpen by getting Miller, and then they do that with the rotation in getting Sears. So I don't see it as that much. I mean, did they give up a little too much for these two guys? Probably. But when you're talking about winning now, and they've been trying to win now for quite a while, and so they're just trying to make it more evident that they are trying to win this season, and they're not waiting around for the Dodgers to get bad, because that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, because this is the most vulnerable the Dodgers have looked. Like, looking at this stretch and how they're playing, and we still have, 3 hours to go, but I don't have the Dodgers as a top 3 team at this point in the National League to win the pennant. They've just not sold me whatsoever. The big three's not playing that well. The rotation, we'll see how Blake Snell looks on Saturday, but it's not been convincing. The bullpen has been a disaster, and we'll see maybe if the Brock Stewart thing goes through. The medicals are currently holding up that deal, but maybe he's a big arm that they can get and really help out this bullpen. But they're not a top 3 contender for me at this moment. So if you're San Diego, yes, this may be your last best chance with the core you have, the fact that Xander is not going to get any better, the fact that this may be, and I've been saying this for a couple years now, but I truly feel like this is Manny Machado's last great year.
Yeah.
Merrill, he has been great, but he's starting to get a little bit, at least to me, in that injury-prone discussion. You got to go for it. You just picked the wrong piece to get. And I would make more sense if you package Suarez and Cease and another prospect, and you went and got Jarren Duran for that outfield and really just put pedal to the metal here. But I like the process here. They just went all in for the wrong guy.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the Padres bullpen now with the addition of Mason Miller, you've got Robert Suarez, obviously, Jeremiah Estrada is another guy, Jason Adam, Adrian Morahone, Yuki Matsui, and then, of course, Mason Miller. So that is a stacked bullpen right there. So I see why. I mean, it still sounds good without Mason Miller, but
it's Kansas City 2015. If they get a lead going, I'll say even into the 6th inning at this point, how are you coming back from that? You're not.
Right.
It's just, can you get 6 quality from your starters? Can you get enough from the offense to give you a lead? And that's a very repeatable formula, in my opinion, to go ahead and win a championship here. But we got to talk about the other big reliever that was traded at the deadline. And this is one I'm going to toot my hat on a little bit here, because in my 5 trades I would make video, I had both Harrison Bader and Johan Duran being Phillies. I thought it was very, very obvious that those two were going to Philadelphia. And it really puts Philly as a team that I was not necessarily the highest on, just simply because the lineup was not good. The bullpen was shaky. They have the best rotation in baseball. But now you have a very good defensive center fielder who's been very good offensively as well too this year. Granted, he does not play that much against lefties, but at this point, I don't really care. His numbers are very similar. Just give him the opportunities. And to get a good back end, a true closer for this Phillies team, yeah, they look dangerous heading into October now.
Yeah. And the Johan Duran trade for Mick Abel was awesome. And coming from an Orioles fan, I was kind of hoping that Elias would trade Mullins to the Phillies for Mick Abel, or when Bautista wasn't hurt for Abel. But I really like Mick Abel. I know he struggled when he came up to the Phillies, but in Double-A Reading and Triple-A Lehigh Valley, he tore it up. Give him a full season next year. He'll either be good by the second half of next year, second half of 26, or by 2027. Give him some time. He'll be awesome. I think that's one of the fairest trades we've seen so far. Duran for Abel, and then Eduardo Tate, who is also a really good catching prospect, who was in the Philly system, ranked 6th, I believe. Abel was ranked 4th in their system, and Tate was ranked 6th in the Phillies farm system.
Yeah, it was shocking to me that they traded Tate because Rio Muto has not been, the even remotely close to best catcher in baseball discussion since 21. And I think Tate was kind of the succession plan. So for me, I'm kind of looking at it now is I think Andrew Painter might honestly be on the table if the right deal comes up for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Because they say on MLB TV before we got on here is Dave Dombrowski does not care about prospects. Dave Dombrowski cares about parades. So he might just say, fuck it, and go get his parade at this point. Because, again, Dodgers are incredibly weak this year. The Cubs, I know they got Michael Soroka, and he is, the annual baseball savant darling of the deadline. But they don't have a starting rotation still. You might honestly have just made yourselves the favorites to come out of the National League here. So if they go get Duran or Kwan, and even if they have to give up Painter to do it, this is the time to do it because you do not have any good opportunities after this.
Yeah. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here on the screen, on the stream, make sure you go check out the Run the Play Discord, trivia, all kinds of fun stuff in a Discord with lots of sports fans. Go check it out.
It's incredible in there. But Josh, what do you think about Philadelphia this year?
I mean, obviously their bullpen was their most, by far their worst, aspect of their team. And when you're getting a guy like Duran from the Twins, who clearly is, he's got a low ERA, he's got high strikeout rate. That's what you want from your closer. You want a guy who's going to come in and he's going to be striking guys out, because the one thing you don't want, as a pitcher is putting the ball in play, right? That's the most dangerous thing, because that's the golden rule of baseball, right? Put the ball in play and see what happens, right? And so when you strike out as much as he's been striking out, he's averaging a strikeout or two, an appearance. That's pretty great thing to have, especially when you have as shaky of a bullpen as the Phillies have had. And so he's definitely probably the most coveted reliever that was available for the trade deadline. And the Phillies needed that if they wanted to be taken as series contenders for a World Series berth at minimum. And so they went out and did what they needed to do. And I'll say this, that, a lot of times we're seeing, a lot of teams overpay to some degree for what they're getting in return. But that's what the trade deadline is all about, right? Trade deadline is all about overpaying for rentals, overpaying for guys to do what you need to do this year. So, but I'll say this about Dombrowski is he's not known for developing. He's there to just trash your system so you can win a World Series. That's what he's known for. And so, but he gets those kind of results. They get to World Series or they win World Series. So, pick your poison.
Yeah, and even if you look at the Dodgers and Philadelphia, the one bad trade I will say either of those teams made was the infamous Yordan Alvarez for Tony Watson. And Yordan, if I remember correctly, was not a top 10 prospect. I think he might have been a top 25 prospect for the Dodgers. You really don't know who you're giving up here at all. And Dombrowski, more than anybody, understands this. And that's why I really think if he can get Jarren Duran or Steven Kwan, Andrew Painter is gone. Because Painter, yes, he could be anything. He could be Zach Wheeler, but you just don't know. Stephen Kwan is Stephen Kwan. Just do it and figure out the rest later, because you only have so many chances to win a World Series here. Take them while you got them.
Right. But I do have to say that if I am the GM of the Guardians, I would shoot that trade down. Or no, I'm sorry. If I'm the GM of the Phillies, I would shoot that trade down. Really, it could go both ways. Stephen Kwan, he has 9 home runs. He's also not a power guy. I mean, I say that, but he hit 2 home runs against the Orioles. He's got 114 hits. He's batting .286, 38 RBIs on the year. That's a solid guy, but also you're trading him for a top prospect who is kind of unproven. He's very injury prone. Talking about Andrew Painter. He's, I think, suffered now 2 serious injuries or long-term injuries in the Phillies organization. I think he pitched like 7 starts in AA with like a 3 ERA, and then they moved him up to AAA. His numbers weren't great in AA, but I don't know. So I think, obviously, I don't think it can be ruled out. Obviously, like I think you were saying, nothing can be ruled out on trade deadline day. Everybody's desperate for what they want, and then they can't get it for another, 2, 3, 4 months.
See, for me, what I'm looking at more for like the Phillies thing is your rotation is already so damn good. You don't really need him. And you don't necessarily need power in this lineup. Is Schwarber, hits bombs. Harper hits bombs. Trey Turner is a consistent hitter who kind of does everything well.
Except in the playoffs.
What you need is someone to set the table for them. So if you look at a lineup of Kwan, Schwarber, Turner, Harper, I think that is a perfect 1 through 4. And then you kind of figure out the rest behind that. But that's a deadly lineup in October.
Yeah, Stephen Kwan definitely just rounds out that lineup a bit more. I don't know why. It just sounds more complete when you add Kwan's name in.
Because you don't have that guy after the big 3. Is like Marsh has been okay. Castellanos. I mean, I'm not going to get into politics, but even with the current administration fucking everything up here, his home run powers will not carry you through October here. Alec Boehm was good for like half a season. The Max Kepler experiment has failed, and JT Realmuto has fallen off in a big way. I just don't see it to where this lineup is good enough without him. You definitely need him or someone of his quality just to be a contender, quite frankly. A serious contender, I should say.
Yeah, and there are other outfield bats on the market. Ramon Laureano, Cedric Mullins are 2 that are being talked about. Luis Robert. So, and Stephen Kwan. So you've still got lots of bats to, I'd say, 4 teams. Padres, Astros, Phillies, and shoot, who's the 4th one? Mets. Yeah. Right? Aren't they looking for an outfield bat?
The Mets are looking for an outfield bat. And then just right on time, too, as you were saying that, AJ Preller is not done. They're looking for a left fielder, too. So, Ethan Salas has to be gone at this point. But, yeah.
Ethan Salas is gone.
Do not be surprised if San Diego does something stupid.
Blue Jays looking for that extra outfield bat, too.
Everybody's looking for outfield bats right now, which is so confusing to me why the White Sox refuse to sell Robert. Is this your last chance to get something of value out of him? He's playing good. He is healthy for once. Just get anything for him at this point, man. It's not like, you're a piece or 2 away and you're holding out for a specific prospect. Dude, you need an army of prospects. You need a full-on, legion or something, man.
Well, I think that's what they're thinking, and that's the problem, is that they're asking too much in return for him, and I think their asking price is too high. And that's why they're not making deals for him and just going to keep him and see what he does. But I agree. I think this is his highest value that he's had in quite a while, and I mean they should be letting him go right now. I think the other team that's really doing the same thing that's not letting guys go. We haven't really seen any trades for any of them. Maybe we'll see something as the Angels. I'm surprised they're going for it. They're a team that's just hovering around 500, and I guess that's good enough for Angels organization is to a winning season for them is, or a positive season for them is being at 500. And they got some guys out there that can do some damage for other teams, and yet we haven't really seen any deals with them yet. So I'm a little surprised by that.
Dude, Taylor Ward in Philadelphia would be incredible.
Mike Trout in Philadelphia would be incredible.
Yeah.
God knows why the Angels continue to hold on to him. I mean, obviously he's so injury prone right now. He's past his prime. But, we've learned so often in Major League Baseball how a change of scenery can do a player so much good. And if there's any player that deserves to be in the playoffs more than any active player, it's Mike Trout. And it's a shame for the baseball world that he's not on a contending team. And for some reason, the two of them have colluded together to make that not happen. And
that's why the Angels need to buy. They need Zach Gallen, yes. They need Alcantara, and they need Joe Ryan. Just go all in.
But they have no prospects to trade away. That's the problem. And that's what I'm getting at is they don't have any quality prospects to give away that other teams are going to be super interested in to get someone like a Zach Gallen who can be, a number one starter or at least minimum number two. They don't have the prospects to give that away. And so that's their issue. They don't draft well. They don't develop well. They fast track their prospects. And because of that, they got nothing to give. And so when you got nothing to give, you're not going to buy. You gotta sell, because that's the only way to build up their farm system. Their farm system is consistently at the bottom of the rankings in Major League Baseball. So the only way that if you're going to develop poorly and you're going to fast track your prospects, the only way to build up that farm system is to trade away the guys that you do have. So you have somewhat of a future, because they have no future and they have no present. So buying at this point is not exactly the greatest thing for them, because it's not going to make them that much better to where they're going to, make a wild card slot. So I think they should be at least sellers on a few guys.
Yeah, because they have pieces. Their three biggest trade pieces, or four biggest trade pieces, in my opinion, is exactly what the market is looking for at this point. Is as much as we would like to free Mike Trout, I think Mike Trout is in Anaheim for life at this point. But Taylor Ward looks very good for a lot of teams, cough, cough, Philadelphia. Number two, Kenley Jansen. Yes, I know the numbers are not great and, the hat, but I think he can be a really good arm, and absent, Class A, because the betting ads in Cleveland are really effective, apparently. And Bautista, whose shoulder got fucked at the worst possible time for Elias, he might be like the premier arm left at the deadline at this point for any team that needs bullpen help here. Moncada, I think, would play really well in Houston, given the fact that, Paredes is out for the year. He would play really well in Detroit, just help round out that lineup a little bit more here. And Tyler Anderson, people are always looking for starting pitching here. You can net one, maybe even two, if they're really lucky, 3 top 100 prospects for these guys here, and really just reset and go for it next year. Because they have lucked into an incredible situation where we can get players to help us out here. But for whatever reason, Artie Moreno refuses to do anything that lets his team value go anything below top 10 here. And it's so goddamn frustrating, man. Just punt this year. I understand the American League is the weakest it has been in a long, long time. But you're not going to win a playoff series, even if you make it to the playoffs, if we're being honest here.
No.
Yeah. Going back to talking about Luis Robert, John Heyman did just tweet, Cedric Mullins remains a possibility for the Mets, who are obviously looking for an upgrade at the center field position. There's been little to no progress on Luis Robert, however you pronounce it. And it's even possible that the White Sox end up keeping Luis. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think that is
Obviously, kind of going back
I think it's a dumb move for Chicago is even if you're not going to get, the guy, is you still have to get somebody for him. And he is so injury prone that, he might get hurt tomorrow and fuck his trade value in the offseason here. And David Stearns, as seen with the Rogers trade yesterday, is willing to give up prospects if he thinks he can help this team. I think you can get Carson Benga, maybe Jacob Reimer. You can definitely get like 2 top 100 guys or 2 top 10 guys from this Met system here. Like, you're not getting Jet Williams, you're not getting Tong, but I think it starts at Benga and then you kind of work your way down. If you get 2 of those guys, I think you're in a good spot here from the Mets.
Yeah, and Cedric Mullins, going to the Cedric Mullins side of it, he's a very good player. He's got a decent bat, but when he gets cold, he gets cold. And he can go in slumps, but then he comes out of it and he'll hit like 2 or 3 home runs in a stretch of 2 games. And then his defense is just amazing. Climbs up balls,
that catch you made the other day.
He'll slide.
I'd have that guy on my team any day just for defense.
Yeah, I think there was like 2 catches this Blue Jay series. And then he can slide, he can dive, he can throw runners out at home. He can basically do anything. So I think it would be a really fair trade if the Orioles could get Benge in return for Mullins.
Yeah, and
his OPS isn't terrible. So I mean, he's not exactly the worst guy offensively, but yeah, I think he's got 15 home runs and and he's got 49 RBIs. So I think he's worth it. So like we're talking about, his defense is ridiculous. So you know what you're getting on defense. So and he's a switch hitter, or he can be a switch hitter. So I mean, he's got some value to him that could be helpful to a team like the Mets. But yeah, I agree. It's just who you getting, and you need him. You got to have guys that you can trust to perform in the extended season there in the playoffs. So you're just not sure what you're getting there, and so I mean that's his only drawback.
Well, this Mets lineup, it's not like the deepest lineup by any means, but there's enough to insulate him from those like very cold stretches to where he's not killing you like he was, in Baltimore this year, because everybody's been underperforming for the Orioles, quite frankly. So when he gets cold, you really feel it. But, with Soto, Alonso, Lindor, and Nimmo, you're kind of a little more protected because he's not going to be hitting at the top of that lineup here. He is probably the 6-7 hitter on this team, maybe the 5 hitter, depending on platoon and splits and all that. But he's not going to be an immediate contributor. He's just one of those guys that's going to give the Mets a lot of length and good defense in center field with great speed. He's Tyrone Taylor that can hit. And I think that's exactly what the Mets need. And then, like other outfield needy teams like the Padres, they kind of gutted their farm system. But they do have a lot of pitching that could be very helpful for Baltimore. So I think, any outfield needy team, even, the Phillies have some guys that I think can get it for Mullins.
Well, the Padres seem to gut their organization every year, but yet they still have great prospects because they develop so well. So, I mean, I think that's something that, speaks a lot to their organization. To say that they can be as active as they are in recent years in the trade deadline, and giving up all these top prospects, and how many of these top prospects that they're trading, end up being all-stars, major contributors at the major league level. So I mean they're making good moves, and so you can't fault them for doing what they're doing because they continue to do it well. And as long as they're doing it as well as they are, I mean, keep buying and keep going crazy at the deadline. It just hasn't amounted to anything. That's what they're known for. Dodgers. Like I saw someone say the other day, the Dodgers raise championship banners, the Padres Rays trade deadline banners. So we'll see if it amounts to anything in October. But I mean, they're always been aggressive. So maybe one of these days it'll work out for them that it'll get them to actually win their first championship in franchise history.
Yeah, and I think because I was talking about this with my friend when we were talking the irrelevant comments or something. It was definitely during the last Dodgers Padres series. I know that, but we were talking about Preller, and the thing with him, and I will give him his flowers on this one. I don't think anybody in Major League Baseball has a better eye for talent than AJ Preller. He knows exactly who's good and who isn't. Like, I cannot find this stat anywhere, but I swear to God, I think it was the 22 or 23 All-Star game where someone said over half the players that are All-Stars were either drafted, traded, or signed by AJ Preller.
Yep.
And that's kind of remarkable.
It is.
He'll find the players. And yes, I get it, He traded away Trey Turner and all these fantastic players. But to find, a Fernando Tatis Jr. as the throw-in for the James Shields trade, to understand that Michael King can start, yes, he is fantastic, and he will fill up this farm system once again, whether through smaller deals or, trading away Dylan Cease. He has to be gone at this point, right? If Suarez is staying, Cease is going. But he will get the job done. It's just he doesn't build culture in that clubhouse. Manny Machado is not a good leader. Once he figures out how to do that, this Padres team may be unstoppable. So, yeah, he has the prospect capital to go get Cedric Mullins here, especially because I have Pipeline pulled up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their top 100 prospects as pitchers. Granted, only 2 of them are at the AAA or higher level. And, Jack, I think Baltimore is going to want someone that can help them contribute next year and really keep this core going. But even if you have to wait a little bit, I think you'll be fine if you get one of these Padres pitchers because their pitching development, honestly, is incredibly underrated too.
Yeah, and going back to Cease, Bob Nightingale did just tweet, while everyone is wondering where Padres starter Dylan Cease is going, it certainly appears that he's going nowhere and staying in San Diego. The Padres never were going to trade closer Robert Suarez. Breaking news from Bob Nightingale, Dylan Cease is staying with the Padres.
All right. They are going for it. That makes more sense now because now they have to get an outfield bat here. Yes. I don't care who. You have to get somebody to fill in this lineup because I'm not going to criticize them too much for the Freddie Freeman thing because, again, AJ Preller's got a really good eye for talent here. And, he's kind of been wasting away as Salvador Perez's backup for years now.
Yeah.
And he fits that Padres MO of, get on base, make contact. So I think he's a perfect Padre, quite frankly. It's just I'll kick this to you guys. What outfielder would you want to see go to San Diego if they really were going to go for it this year?
None, because I'm a Dodger fan. But no, I honestly think excuse me. Sorry, I'm still getting over that bronchitis I had last week. Yeah, I think they really need a little bit more. I think what they need a lot of it. I think Kwan would be the perfect addition for them. And the reason why I say that is because he's also got speed. I think a lot of what they need is not if they're going to be a contact hitting team, right? If that's your philosophy, right? You want to put the ball in play. Well, you need, if you're going to play small ball, you need the guys that could run on the base pass a lot more. Now, they do have some guys that have some speed, but if you're going to put pressure on the other team and on their pitching staff, you got to have guys that are going to steal a lot more. And so I think someone like him would be great because he can be all that speed on the base path. He's got a great defense and he can make contact as well. So he fits that mold of what they want out of their team. So I really think Stephen Kwan would be a really good fit for them.
I'm thinking Taylor Ward. Or go ahead.
Speaking of Kwan.
Yeah, so I do want to say what Ken Rosenthal did just say. It's on the bottom of the screen now. Ken Rosenthal thinks Stephen Kwan won't get moved because the price is too high, and he thinks they are smoke screening on Robert, and he will get traded. So, never know. But going into your question, Joe, I think it's probably Taylor Ward or Stephen Kwan. I think Mullins is going to go to the Mets. I wouldn't be shocked if Mullins and Laureano both go to the Mets. I don't know. But I think going to San Diego is probably going to be Jarren Duran if he gets traded. But that's a hard question. I'm going to go Stephen Kwan. Just really good bat. I think he would fit in well in San Diego. And do you guys think the Red Sox move Duran?
This is a tough one because from everything I see and I read is Duran is, the leader in that Red Sox clubhouse. He's the guy that a lot of these players turn to. But you also have to admit he has the lowest ceiling of that very crowded outfield logjam they have at the moment here. Yes, he's very good defensively, but he's not Ceddanne Rafaela. He does not have the hit tool of a Roman Anthony here. He is very clearly the odd man out here. But we also see all the time that the vibes go down once you trade away those kind of players. So it has to be the right package that kind of will blow Boston away. And it kind of has to be that package that fills in the farm system if you can give up the pieces to go get Joe Ryan and fill in that rotation here. I think he does not get traded just simply because of what he means to this organization. But on the other hand, I will not be surprised because he is clearly the worst of their four outfielders.
The other thing you got to think about is with Boston and their organization is let's not put it past them to make a really stupid move that just makes complete no sense whatsoever to their future. And so they've done that plenty of times in the past, made these really head-scratching trades that don't give them much in return. So I wouldn't exactly put it past them to do something like that because, like I said, they've done it many times before. But yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I've said this before on this channel that clubhouse culture is what wins games, what wins, a lot. If you have a great culture, you're gonna do a lot better than if you don't. So if you're gonna give away a guy who's gonna be that clubhouse guy, it's gonna be hard to see them going anywhere anytime soon. So it'd be hard in my mind for them to trade it just based off that alone, because we saw what happened once they traded Devers and how he kind of, even though he's not their best outfielder, he still, took charge and became that kind of leader for that team after that trade happened. And then they started playing really well as a team. So you can't overlook that aspect of a player.
And conversely, they traded Rafael Devers. The Red Sox get a lot better. And the Giants have slowly, violently imploded to the point where there is talk that is Camilo Del Valle going to be moved? Justin Verlander is on the market now, which good luck with that one. No one wants that guy. Verlander, because we'll touch on this right now, actually. He is what people think playoff Kershaw is.
Thank you.
He has finally been in the playoffs.
Yeah, Kershaw has, I think, gotten a really bad rap for basically 2 or 3 games, 2 games against the Cardinals in the mid 2010s, and then a game which got stolen from him by the Astros in 2017 in Game 5. And so I really think Kershaw has gotten a bad rap for being the Peyton Manning of Major League Baseball. But no one ever talks about Justin Verlander is 10 times worse in the playoffs. He's been when he was with the Tigers, he got knocked around like crazy. In that World Series against the Dodgers. There you go. So here's your Cedric Mullins there. Let's cut to that.
Mets are finalizing a deal to acquire center fielder Cedric Mullins in a trade with the Baltimore Orioles. Sources tell ESPN and Jeff Passan. Anthony DiComo of the Mets was first on the news. And I was literally just about to talk about Ryan O'Hearn. I was about to put something.
Yeah.
And then I see literally as I go to close the phone, go to close Twitter, I see Cedric Mullins to the Mets. But we can touch on O'Hearn later. What do you guys think about this trade?
Yeah, the Mets. I said it when we were talking about this 5 minutes ago, but Cedric Mullins is Tyrone Taylor that can hit. So immediately this lineup looks a lot better. They are defensively a lot better. Speed-wise, they're a lot better. I want to see who they give up here because, again, Stearns kind of overpaid and, quite frankly, showed his hand with that Taylor Rogers trade. But regardless, this is a fantastic move for the Mets here. And I think this really puts them 1B to Philadelphia's 1A atop the National League right now.
Answering your question, Ramon Gomez, Anthony Nunez, and Chandler Marsh are going back to Baltimore per source. I will get on that right now to figure out what their positions are.
Yeah, Sam, we're all rushing to MLB pipeline here. But Josh, first impression, what do you think of this for the Mets?
This is exactly what they needed. They needed a guy who's gonna fill out the rest of that lineup, and who's gonna be essentially their center fielder, who's gonna give them solid leadership defense in the outfield. Center fielder is your general in the outfield, and he's exactly that. And so you're getting a quality player that is gonna, at times, he's going to be an all-star caliber hitter, but he's got a Gold Glove in the outfield, and so we've seen that recently how good he can be. And so when you have that kind of player on your team, that's going to vault you up in your odds to win the World Series for sure. He's not the best player out there that they could have gotten, but he's probably the best fit for this team.
Yeah, so the return is right-handed pitcher Anthony Nunez, ranked prospect. Ramon Gomez is another right-handed pitcher, their 30th ranked prospect, and it doesn't look like Chandler Marsh is ranked. So that's the return. Chandler Marsh is...
Yeah, I cannot find Chandler Marsh on pipeline.
I can't either. Another pitcher, right-handed pitcher.
Exactly what Baltimore needs is pitching.
Three high A pitchers, though. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, I think you had to take the best offer you can get here.
Yeah,
and Elias is kind of the. I mean, it's one off season, but he does get a lot of stopgap starters here, and Rodriguez is coming back at some point here. I think it's just figuring out who your pitchers are for next year. Get a Zach Gallen maybe because you learned your lesson last offseason. Oh, we got another one.
Yep, just saw that. Yankees got to get another reliever from Colorado.
Jake Bird this time.
Oh, there's another one too.
Oh, this is going off crazy. But yeah, I'm fascinated to see what the Yankees gave up here because Jake Bird and the Colorado Rockies are...
James Outman, what?
James Outman is gone from LA.
That's shocking.
Wow.
I'm surprised by that.
Wow.
I'm actually not happy about that one, but okay.
Wow. Three trades in what? It's 3:44 now. The Mullins was broke. 4 minutes. That was 3 trades in 4 minutes.
And we still have 2 hours to go.
We still have 2 hours and 16 minutes.
So I think
there's going to be trades happening at the last hour, the last second.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start off
with really 6:30 or 3:30 for you guys.
Yeah. We got to start off with it. We're the Dodgers fans. How do you feel about James Outman leaving for Brock Stewart?
I don't like it at all. And the reason why I don't like it is because even though James Outman has kind of struggled in the major leagues, being consistent with his bat, he is clearly a plus defender. And Brock Stewart is injured way too often. I mean, the Dodgers got rid of him a few years ago because he was too injury prone and traded him away, along with to the Blue Jays, I think. And so, I just don't. I mean, they clearly the Dodgers don't want to get rid of some of their top prospects in order to get what they need. And so he is expendable. I'll say that if I'm going to say it from like a level-headed, like take the Dodger fan out of me thing. He doesn't have a spot. Because of the emergence of of Pages, because of the emergence of Pages, he doesn't have, just like when they traded away what's his name to the White Sox last year. He's got no spot there, so he's kind of expendable, and he's having trouble finding a spot in major league level, but he's quality in AAA. So I mean, he amounts essentially to a trade piece, but I don't know. I don't know about this. It gets rid of some of their depth in the outfield that they have. The Dodgers have been very injury prone this year. And so I don't like the loss of depth there, if anything. But it makes sense on paper because, like I said, he's expendable. With Andy Pages coming around, you got Hernandez in the outfield, and then you still got Edman who can play the outfield as well and play center, which is where Outman typically plays, is in center field. I think that he was just under that expendable kind of tier, and that was who they wanted. That's who they traded away. So it's definitely gives him more playing time with the Twins, most likely. But again, it's kind of sad to see him go. You got his bobblehead back there.
We'll always have that grand slam against the Cubs. But as much as, like, I was telling my dad this last night that, Outman pissed me off by not, like, robbing that home run. It's very hard to get a glove on that ball. He is a very good defender. But while you were talking, I was looking up the outs above average for players here. Is Tommy Edman 1 out above average in center field? I think he'll fit in fine. Even Pages has been surprising in center field. I thought he was better as a corner outfielder. I still think he is, but he's also a plus defender in center field as well. Haesung Kim, his only good defensive position is at second base, is where he's elite. And I think the big thing this signals to me is, one, is Friedman knew like he could not pay the very high prices that a lot of teams are asking for relievers. So because of that, he had to do whatever it took to get Brock Stewart. He knows who he is. He knows what they're working with here. So, yeah, he had to do what he had to do, and it sucks. It really does suck, but it was necessary. And more importantly, what this signals to me, too, is if you're going to have to move Edman off third base to be, an extra outfielder, that signals to me that I think Max Muncy's injury, because I was at that game, which, subtle brag, by the way, but, my friend, she's went to school to be a athletics trainer, and she said like his ACL was done, like it was gone. So what this signals to me is I think Max Muncy is back by the end of August, because you do not trade outfield depth unless you know that you're having your guys come back here. So I hate that we had to get rid of Outman, but it was the right move to do because we desperately needed some kind of good right-handed reliever in this bullpen in the worst possible way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just hurts that it has to be Outman, but it's definitely necessary, like you said, and like the Dodgers love, and a lot of teams nowadays, but especially Friedman and the Dodgers love versatility. And Outman didn't also have a lot of versatility, where you have Edman who can play multiple positions in the infield and outfield. And you have Pages who could play all spots in the outfield. Outman's basically just a center fielder for the most part. And so because of that, again, when you have all that kind of versatility amongst your roster, in your major league roster, it's going to make it harder for him to find a spot. And so that's the other reason why he's probably the most expendable player in their 40-man roster right now, which is why he was included in the trade.
Yeah, and I think James Outman is a guy who, when did he break out? 2023? Was that his stellar year?
Yeah.
2023. And I think it's a decent trade, out position-wise, not player and talent-wise. I think getting a guy like Brock Stewart for the Dodgers, that's a pretty decent ad right there. I'm sure you guys can agree with that. And then the Twins, who traded away Harrison Bader to the Phillies earlier, they get their Harrison Bader replacement in James Outman. So I think it's a fair trade for what the teams are getting, but not necessarily what they're losing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I had a heart attack for a second here because I just looked up for a second at MLB TV and I forgot they were doing blockbuster trade proposals from Twitter. And I saw Dodgers get Steven Kwan. I'm like, holy shit, we overpaid for Kwan. No, that's just fans being delusional for a second there. But speaking of overpay, do we think the Yankees overpaid for Jake Bird? Because I think the Yankees overpaid for Jake Bird a little bit here.
Yes.
So they got their number 10 prospect, second baseman, and number 28 left-handed pitcher, Ben Shields. Yeah, that's overpaying for a reliever for sure.
Yeah, and listen to this Yankees bullpen. David Bednar, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Jake Bird, Tim Hill, Jonathan Loizaga, Ian Hamilton, also in the mix. You have Yerry De Los Santos, JT Brubaker, and Brent Hedrick. And on the IL, obviously, Mark Leiter Jr. and Fernando Cruz. That is a stacked bullpen. Now they need to go get Merrill Kelly. I'm an Orioles fan. I don't want them to go get Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen. That's what they need to do. Get a starter, and they're done.
Because I think, granted, they are haunted. And it's not what lost them the World Series, but I think Brian Cashman is haunted that he had to go to that Aaron Boone was forced to go to Nestor Cortez in Game 1 of the World Series to face Freddie Freeman. He wants anybody and everybody to make sure that never happens again. And to their credit, the Yankees and Cashman are really good at finding, bullpen talent here. And I understand, I have been there. It is a weird place. Coors Field is the upside down of Major League Baseball here. Nothing makes sense there. Nope. So Jake Bird is
stadium, but
fun fact is when I was there, I'm not to derail us too much, but when I was there, I saw like a line drive off of Nevada Hernandez. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's caught. That's a home run. This place is wild. Yeah. So the point of this is that, it's very hard to evaluate Rockies pitching here, but they know what they're doing here. I think Jake Bird is going to be probably not the fireman reliever, because I think that's either going to be Bednar or Weaver, maybe even Devin Williams, because he's not been great as the closer for this team, but he's someone that could come in like the 4th or 5th inning and just get you out of a tricky situation in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is about Jake Bird is you're talking about Coors Field and okay, you're talking about how a pop-up is basically a home run. I'm not going to lie. That's actually the reason why this is a great fit for the Yankees is that essentially is their right field short porch. A pop-up is a home run. And when you have a guy who can come into high leverage situations in a place where it's a hitter's dream and get out of these bases loaded jams and strike out guys in high pressure situations, that is exactly what the Yankees need when they're playing at Yankee Stadium. Is they need that guy to come in and to get those hitters out in a pressure situation in a hitter-friendly ballpark, because that's exactly what Coors Field is, and that's exactly what Yankee Stadium can be. And so that's why he's a huge fit, because if he's already seen the pressure of getting in those high-leverage situations, and he's pitched in a hitter-friendly ballpark, the biggest hitter-friendly ballpark in all of Major League Baseball. And so when you get something like a pitcher like that, that's gonna make your bullpen even scarier.
This is fun too. Do you guys know off the top of your head what Jake or Bird's main fastball is? It's not a four-seamer, by the way.
Two-seamer?
It's a sinker, which is the worst pitch you can throw in Colorado just because of the altitude and how it messes with fastball spin. So if you look at, just doing baseball savant scouting here, is if you look at his fastball run value, it's -6 with average velo. So if you get that out of, Colorado where it doesn't spin as much and put it at sea level, which is right where Yankee Stadium is, all of a sudden, I think just based on that alone, you got a lot better of a fastball to work that sweeper off of. And that alone is worth it for New York, in my opinion.
Yeah, and moving on, has everybody said what they've wanted to about Jake Bird?
Yeah.
Moving on, back to another trade that kind of happened right with that one. Oh, wait, no, it's not a trade. Sorry. Astros, they're not completely out of the race for Carlos Correa, or completely off of Carlos Correa. They're still talking to the Twins. A reunion would be great for both sides, Astros and Carlos Correa. But there's a lot of finances to work out. What do you guys think about that? Correa going back to the Twins, and yeah.
I just don't know where you put him next year.
Third.
I was very high on
third.
Yeah. Well, then where do you put Paredes?
Where do you put Arias for the rest of this year then?
Yeah.
That's a waste of trade then.
Yeah. I mean, they do need a bat in this lineup because it's what's holding them back at this point. It's just, none of these guys can play the outfield. We saw the Jose Altuve experiment, and good job on that one. I could play a better left field than Jose Altuve, quite frankly. But, based on vibes, it would make sense. Is he's always felt like an Astro, and that's where he's been most comfortable. It just, I don't know. He is the worst possible position here. What are you running? An infield of Correa at third, Pena at short, Arias at second, and Altuve as your first baseman? That's just kind of weird.
Altuve at first base, that was comical to me.
All the balls would go over his head.
It's the not hot corner, but you just scoop the ball, man. Cam Smith will do everything else.
AJ Preller, man. Still working. Ramon Laureano. He's hoping to get him.
Who would you want?
A lot of young talent
from that Padres system then for Laureano?
Ethan Salas. Just kidding. I know for 100% we would not get him, but let me look at their top 30 prospects.
Yeah, because I'm trying to. Or Samuel Basallo, right? I think that's how you say his last name.
Basallo. A lot of people say it differently.
Yeah, he's also a catcher, and I mean, he's not what he was his first 2 years, but Adley Rutschman, I still am a believer that he could win an MVP one day if everything breaks his way. He has that kind of talent.
You know who I really want from the Padres? Lamar King Jr. He's a catching and first base prospect. I know him. Pretty good friends with him. Well, not friends, but we know each other. It's one of those things. He played ball at the private high school, literally 5 minutes away from my house. I would go to every game. He was really good, man. There were scouts there for him. And he ended up going to college for 2 years, I think. And yeah, this kid's just awesome.
I say, nice homecoming too. Feel good story.
Yeah.
Get a pitcher on top of that. I could see it working.
Yeah, he's batting .290 with a .375 OPS, .414 slugging, so 789 OPS. 4 home runs, not a great power hitter, but 24 doubles, 89 hits. He's with their A team, Blake Elsinore. But will Mike Elias do that? I think yes. If Ryan O'Hearn gets traded, they need a new DH. So that's what I'm thinking. Basallo would go up for O'Hearn because they don't want Basallo catching. So Basallo would replace O'Hearn at first. Lamar King, he would probably go to AA, let's be honest. So then they can send catchers up to AAA. So Lamar King is probably not enough for Laureano. So throw in a guy like Garrett Hawkins or Eric Yost, another right-handed pitcher. from the Padres. But I'm excited for these next 2 hours, man.
Yeah, especially because like Baltimore, they develop hitters so damn good, man. That's the one thing they've done right in this process. You can name a couple of whiffs they've had, but for the most part, every top hitting prospect they've had come through that system has developed and delivered in some kind of way. I hate to bring this up because I know it's going to hurt you, but even Kyle Stowers, is a very good hitter as well. If Baltimore touches you as a hitter, you're set for a 110 WRC plus for at least 2 years.
Yeah. But yeah, Kyle Stowers, that name leaves trauma. But
it's okay. Just say the name Yordan Alvarez, Josh and I 3 times, and we'll start crying.
Or Jake Outman at this point.
If he breaks out, I swear to God.
But hey, Trevor Rogers broke out this year, so I'm not 100% mad at that.
Yeah. It's just, with the departure, I mean, you can Monday morning quarterback everything, but with the departure of Santander, it would just be nice to have Stowers filling in here.
Yeah. But hey, Mike Elias, get on the phone and get Lamar King to Baltimore.
Yeah. Now,
I don't just get him to Baltimore, man.
Now, while we have some downtime and before we get into the next thing we're going to talk about here, I would be remiss if I did not bring up our sponsor, Boom Fantasy. Use code RTP to get a risk-free bet up to $100 here. And, there's going to be a lot of great players on the move. I would bet on some of their first games and see. There are a lot of great moments from players who just recently got traded. You look at CC Sabathia with the Brewers. You look at Adrian Gonzalez hitting a home run in his first at-bat with the Dodgers. Bet on some of these player props here after everyone gets traded. You might make some good money here for sure. And now I'm going to steal this one from MLB Network here. But they were doing this segment of, role players who got traded at the deadline and ended up doing huge things in the postseason here. You're looking at Tommy Edman winning NLCS MVP. You're looking at, Steve Pearce being the weirdest World Series MVP of the past 10 years. You're looking at Atlanta rebuilding their outfield with role players. Who either that is on the market or has been traded can be, the next Tommy Edman, Steve Pearce for a team.
Ramon Laureano, in my opinion. If you put him in San Diego, he's going to do some great things. He's been heating up with the Orioles. And while we're talking about outfielders, Adolis Garcia has been traded to the Mets per Mike DePortes. We're still going to wait for Passan or Nightingale or somebody to confirm this.
Wow.
Looking through his account, he has nothing that shows me, I don't know. He's a Mets reporter. He hasn't even put anything about the Mullins trade yet. So we'll wait for confirmation. But going back to that, I think Ramon Laureano to the Padres, that would be a Tommy Edman-like deal. You could also, or Tommy Edman-like thing. But looking at my sheet here, I could also see Harrison Bader go do that in Philly. I could see him kind of heat up and go off in Philly. But
Harrison Bader has the potential to do that. He has, in the past, been that kind of player who, can make a difference in a long series. He just hasn't been performing up to that potential lately. So I agree. He could be one of those guys that on the right team, in the right lineup, can do some real damage.
All right, sorry to cut you off here, but we have the confirmation as of right now. Adolis Garcia has not been traded to the Mets. He is being shopped, and when you look at those Jeff Passan, 50-player articles, he's always been the most surprising name to me. But as of right now, Adolis Garcia has not been traded. But I'm also going to hop on the Harrison Bader thing. I was one of 2 people, if I'm being honest here, in 2022, that's Brandon Marsh to the Phillies, really good idea here. And actually, let me pull this up while I'm saying this, because I said at the time, if you looked at Philadelphia's rotation in 2022, every single pitcher on that staff had an ERA higher than their FIP, which I'm not going to lie, that's kind of impressive. I'm impressed. Good job, Philadelphia.
Wow.
In center field was what sold it for me.
Well, Twins traded Carlos Correa to the Houston Astros.
As an Orioles fan, I am
right.
beyond pissed. The Orioles traded Ramon Reyes for them to then pull this. You trade a bat who has been here through the rebuild. I'm going to go on a rant right here. You trade a bat who has been through the rebuild with the Orioles and Mike Elias. He's been there with Cedric Mullins, who also gets traded. And now they get Carlos Correa. What's Reyes going to do? Sit on the bench and barely ever play? This makes me so mad. Now the Orioles have to scramble and find somebody to replace him at third base. What are you going to do? Put Kobe Mayo there and then go, oh, who's going to fill in the hole at first base? Because, we're trading everybody because, God forbid, we're 9 games under 500. Wow.
Yeah. Well, Josh, any thoughts? You want to follow that one?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I think they're going for the feel good story of the bringing him back, but I just don't get it. I don't get where he's going to go, where he's going to play. Does he fill in as DH while Alvarez is on the IL? Is that what he's going to do? Is he just going to be that that veteran presence? What is he going to realistically do on this team? That's going to make them that much better. I'd like to see what they got back for him because I just don't get it.
I don't even think they got back that much too, because the big thing is, okay, who's paying that contract? If the Twins are paying a lot of that contract, you cannot get anything you want, quite frankly. You can have Hunter Brown for a night. But this is the Twins ownership, and they are notoriously cheap, which means Houston is taking on a lot of that money here.
They have to.
For me, just off the top of my head, yes, he's going to play third base and fill in for Paredes here. But if I'm looking at this in terms of next year and the year after, because Correa is under contract for a long, long time, as funny as it would be to put Jose Altuve at first here, I think realistically, you're looking at Jordan in left fields and Paredes DHing, or Paredes in left, Jordan DHing. Neither of them are good defensive outfielders here. This is a win now move here from Houston. And, I think Arias, could be a perfectly, I don't want to say he's a platoon bat, but at this point, it looks like he's a platoon bat, a platoon DH, something here. Because it's just, like you said, baffling that they went out and made this move knowing that Carlos Correa was on the radar for them. I'm very curious as to what's cooking in Houston here, because this does not make any sense to me whatsoever.
Well, the thing with Carlos Correa is, what held him up when he was traded was that he's got that leg injury still that's still prone to injury, right? And so, I mean, if you're gonna have him, you got to put him in a position where he's not going to need to have a lot of lateral movement. And so the only places to me long term that could fit is if, again, he DHs or he plays like a first base or something like that, because you're not having a whole lot of movement with that leg, with that injury that he's had that held him up when the trades were going through with him when he was traded to the Twins. And so that still has to be a concern. And so you have to move him off shortstop. You have to move him, in my opinion. Just posting right there that he's going to be playing third base for the Astros. I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily put him there just because, like I said, of that injury. And his leg is very, very prone to being, broken again. And so I don't like the trade only because if he's going to play a short or a third base, which he's going to play third base, so it just came through. I just don't see the longevity there. So he's got to hopefully next season move to a less demanding position.
Yeah, because the whole thing was the ankle. And that was never the injuries he would sustain. But apparently this ankle is the, oh my God, let's go. But this ankle is a ticking time bomb here. And we
really
just started to see mild ankle sprain. Very curious. Is this the domino that finally leads that like Fabergé egg of an ankle, this paper tiger of an ankle, to finally collapse in on itself like every doctor in the United States was apparently thinking when he was a free agent here? It's worth it. We'll find out and see here.
Apparently he waived his no trade clause to do the trade too. So
who's Nacho Average Cat?
I have no idea, but here we are.
Nacho Alvarez is the only guy I can think of. But
Jordan's coming back to Dodger Blue, baby.
I wish so bad.
I like the Correa trade, but I'm just, as an Orioles fan, it's just the why is like the Astros, if you know you're going to go get Correa, then.
Well, I think they were thinking the deal was dead, and that's the reason why. It said that, you know, in the post here that it said that they thought it was dead, and so they probably got him as a backup, and then when they started re-engaging, they're like, oh wait, we could still do this, and so yeah, I think that's why they traded for Urias, is because they knew weren't sure.
Yeah, and if you look at it too, is, you know, Pena has been hurt this year. Correa, famously injury prone. Urias isn't necessarily a bad backup plan to have here. He might very well be, like we were talking about before, you know, this nuke went off. He might be that, you know, role player that comes in and helps you win a World Series, as much as it pains me to say. You know, he might be that guy, because we've seen this as Dodger fans. You know, Clayton Kershaw goes down in 2021. Walker Buehler basically is not the same pitcher afterwards, because our rotation is three dudes, a hope, and a prayer. You know, Max Muncy goes down that same year. Any injury at the end of the year can kill your postseason chances here. And Urias is the perfect, like, State Farm, Allstate, you're in good hands.
The insurance policy for sure.
But
there's another tweet from John Heyman that just came through that said that Houston is trying to get either Kelly, Alcantara, or Cease.
They're going for it.
They're in the Quan talks also, he said, and Red Sox are also pursuing those top starters. So,
yeah, this has been one hell of a deadline, to say the least. But to Houston's credit, this is a very, very weak American League here. We can just start talking about AL teams here and kind of what they need. I know the Tigers went out. Who's the starter they got? God, it's going to kill me. But they went out and got a starting pitcher, which I've been saying they kind of need, because Tarek Skubal has been masking what I think is a sneaky problem, and what might kill this Tigers team in the playoffs is they don't have, at least in my opinion, a reliable number two behind them. But they went out, addressed the issue. They are very clearly now the class of the American League, and they may not be done yet. Is maybe one more bullpen arm to go with Finnegan, and they are very clearly 1A, or just a 1 period. There's not even a 2. There's a bunch of 3s in the American League, each with their own unique flaws. So Houston going out and going all in makes complete sense here, especially because I know they're pissed off and would like nothing more than to take down this Tigers team.
Yeah, Bob Nightingale did just tweet, the Minnesota Twins did not eat $50 million of his contract as the Astros wanted, but still a significant amount, which is not released yet. But the big thing that comes out to me here, other major league players are involved in the mega deal.
Ooh, that's right, because we don't even know what the return package is.
Here's a prediction. Left-handed starter Colton Gordon from the Astros. Keep an eye on him. He's pretty good. I think he would be a solid return for the Twins. Or for the Twins to get.
Spencer Arrighetti, maybe.
Ooh, that's another one right there, too. Or Jake Myers. Jake Myers was being shopped around a couple of weeks ago. So, we'll see.
We will see, but yeah. So let's just go through the teams in the American League here. Is the Blue Jays. Yeah, this has been such a crazy deadline. We've not had a chance to talk about some of the deals that were made beforehand, but the Blue Jays went ahead and got Shane, not Justin Bieber, for the rotation here. Who else do you think they kind of need to get in order? Because Josh and I have been on the record that we do not take this Blue Jays team very seriously. Like, who else do they need to really, like, legitimize themselves as one of the teams in the American League this year?
Ramon Laureano. Another outfield bat. They already got Sir Anthony Dominguez. Don't ask me about that trade. Sir Anthony Dominguez, Shane Bieber, Ramon Laureano. That sounds good, does it not? And looking at this list here, Willie Castro would be a good fit for them. Some infield help. Ernie Clement's been a little So Willie Castro maybe. I'm just saying maybe, but
definitely they need another bat.
They do need another bat, but
and with the price,
I kind of think the Shane Bieber trade might be depending on how he comes back, might be one of the better trades of the deadline because he is a Cy Young caliber pitcher. Granted, he's been, I think, had Tommy John surgery, and he's in rehab right now. So he was in Double-A for Cleveland's Double-A team at the time of the trade, and he was showing and he was doing really well. So if he comes back as strong as he was before he got injured, he might be the steal of the trade deadline for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so I was thinking even too, like you buy low on Zach Gallen because he's not going to cost you anything. He's been awful this year. Is maybe a buy low on him too, because as much as I believe in Shane Bieber, I remember 2020 Bieber, like I thought he should have won MVP that year because he was that dominant. And, you know, he might be a sticky stuff merchant. Who knows? It's been a while since he's pitched. But why get one lottery ticket when you can get two? You can win 2 jackpots here, people. And, of course, the Yankees, we just see right now, they may not be done with the Mets most likely being done. Who do the Yankees need in order to be serious contenders to go back to the World Series?
Willie Castro. They need an Anthony Volpe replacement.
Exactly. That's literally you took the words right out of my mouth.
There's a second team that could go for Willie Castro. Kind of looking at this list here, I don't really see any other infielders besides O'Hearn, and I'm sure we'll touch on him in a bit. But yeah, Willie Castro there, and then I think and then they're complete. And this is gonna sound a little crazy, but I could see them going after Ryan O'Hearn for another bat. He can play outfield, he can play first base, he can DH. I saw a rumor about that a couple of days ago. I thought, no way. And then I read into it a little bit, and it sounds, if you read into it, it sounds better than just saying it on the fly. But I don't think it happens, but definitely Willie Castro. What do you think, Josh?
I don't think they trade for O'Hearn because they got an outfielder, first baseman in Cody Bellinger, who's
right. Yeah.
Who's actually been very good for them this year. And even though he left the Dodgers, because his offense was so terrible, and he picked it up in Chicago, and he's continuing to do well in New York. The thing that most people don't understand with him is the quickness that he has in the outfield. That I think that he just has that on someone like O'Hearn, just has that on guys like him, because I've seen him when he was with the Dodgers just making plays off the bat that most guys couldn't make because he's so quick and because he's so fast. He's got speed. We know he's speedy, but because he's got that fast switch speed right off the bat and he's got good instincts off the bat, you can't replace that. And so I think that is just something you just cannot get rid of, and I think he's just got that kind of that edge on him. So I don't think they need him, and so that's why I'm saying Willie Castro would be a great fit there, because you do need an Anthony Volpe. That experiment, I think, is over.
Yeah, 2 trades just went down. Do you want me to announce them?
Yeah, go for it.
Astros acquire outfielder Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. Michael Schwab was first on it. Texas Rangers acquire former Oriole left-hander Danny Coulombe from the Minnesota Twins. These came in within 11 seconds of each other. Bob Nightingale and Jeff Passan.
Dodger legend Danny Coulombe, let's go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was a Dodger. I just remember his time as an Oriole and Twin.
Man, Houston is going for it.
You're going for it hard.
I want to see the return, though, still on the Correa trade and now this Sanchez trade.
I mean, I was joking about it earlier, but no, I think legitimately Jose Altuve might end up playing first base for them at this point, because this lineup is full. It is complete.
Wow, and they're not even done.
My God. They're going to get Dylan Cease.
They're going to get Cease and then...
Because I know what's going to happen when they get Dylan Cease, too. Is I put in my notes that Dylan Cease is arguably the unluckiest pitcher in baseball because, StatCast expected batting average and expected slugging, And granted, I take these numbers with a grain of salt because he plays in Petco, which is notoriously pitcher-friendly. So something's going on if your expected stats are off at Petco. But I know the second he gets to Houston, he is going to turn into Cy Cease again, and it's going to piss me off. Man. But it makes sense if they are going to trade either Gordon or Arrighetti in this Correa deal.
Yeah, and there is another thing here. It is from an Orioles source. Ryan O'Hearn, his asking price from the Orioles is really high, and that it seems more likely that the Orioles will be keeping designated hitter / first baseman Ryan O'Hearn.
Oh, I don't know how you feel about that one, but I would be very, very upset on that one.
I'm very upset. He's not an OG from the rebuild, so to be honest, I don't care. He hasn't been hitting well since like June 1st. Just trade him, see what you can get for him before he becomes a free agent at the end of the year and you get nothing for him.
Especially because he is the only really good first baseman on the market, and there are a lot of teams, Houston, if, they don't like Jose Altuve at first, could use a first baseman. Texas could use a first baseman. There are a lot of teams that are in contention that could use a first baseman. Don't ask for the moon. I understand, you have the one good thing, but if you're going to ask exorbitant prices, no one's going to trade you for the one really good thing on the market here. We still have an hour and a half. I think the price is going to come down on O'Hearn because Elias is stupid, but he's not that stupid. No one could have predicted what happened to Baltimore this year, but I remember when I did my season preview, I was looking at their rotation, and I'm like, are you really betting on Grayson Rodriguez when he comes back to be the guy in this staff? Because I'll tell you right now,
he's not that guy.
Not going to be very happy because he's not that guy.
Source tells The Athletic and Ken Rosenthal that the Astros are working very hard to acquire Dylan Cease from the Padres. No indication close.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's talk about the other Texas team for a second here because Houston is really dominating this deadline, and rightfully so. But how do we think about, legend of both our teams going to the Rangers here? I think it's a very, very good fit for Texas.
I love it. Josh, you want to start off with it?
Yeah, I really think that was something they really needed. They're in the last spot for the wild card, and to get a left-handed pitcher on a team that desperately needs help in their bullpen. I mean, it's a good fit for them.
Yeah, I love it. Really good stats here. Let me pull up his stats because I did not put him on the Google sheet. I was like, nah, I don't think Coulombe's getting traded again. Well, he did, but he's got a 1.16 ERA this season, 31 strikeouts, a .97 whip. He's going to be a great guy for that Texas bullpen. Who is Texas kind of in the run to make a deep playoff run in your guys' opinions? Let me see their record.
They've been playing better. They're 57 and 52. They've been a lot better lately. And so, yeah, they've done a lot better so far than they were at the beginning of the season. They were completely awful, but they've made a last 10. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Their run differential has shot up. So they're making the right moves and they're getting hot at the right time. And so, again, like I said, their bullpen, much like a lot of teams this year, their bullpen is desperate for help. And so getting a guy like Coulombe is really, really good for them.
Yeah. I think the lineup still is a little sketchy for me. And for me, it's not a coincidence that, Corey Seager is playing like October Corey Seager all of a sudden. And Texas is actually winning baseball games now. It's because, he's like video game Greg Jennings. He put the team on his back and single-handedly is dragging this very mediocre lineup to relevance here. So for me, I said this in, my 5 trades I would make video, but Ryan O'Hearn is the perfect Texas Ranger at this point here. And they probably need another bat on top of that here. Because this is not 2010. This is not 2012. You are not the San Francisco Giants. You cannot win a World Series based solely on pitching anymore. It was, I'm not going to say it actually because my dad would kill me, but it was cool that, the Giants and their pitching staff could do that, but that's not how baseball is played anymore.
Oh, wow. Ryan O'Hearn is the San Diego Padre. Robert Murray. The San Diego Padres are acquiring slugger Ryan O'Hearn from the Baltimore Orioles, according to sources familiar with the deal. I know you guys can't read that, but.
Wow. All right. San Diego.
Let's get Lamar King. Let's get Lamar King. Come on, Lamar King.
We'll see when it comes back, but yeah.
Wait, what is that anywhere yet?
Okay, I gotta pull up the Padres lineup here because maybe I am not remembering it as well as I think. But I'm like, what do you do with Luis Arias here?
Oh, wow. Somebody's saying that it could be Arias or Jake Cronenworth in the return.
The Crone Zone is going to Baltimore.
Wow.
Please be the Crone Zone and then Lamar King, and I am happy. Please.
I mean, you don't have to deal prospect capital if you just start dealing away from your starting lineup. That is certainly a strategy, Preller. I will give you that. But, yeah, I think Cronenworth, is a much better fit than Luis Arias, even though I think it's really funny the next Tony Gwynn will have been traded for a 4th time if he ends up going to Baltimore here.
Yeah, and 2 things here. We have not seen returns from any of these latest trades. It's been 20 minutes now, I'd say, for Correa and some other ones.
That might mean that they're pending physicals, and that's why they're not official.
It's Laureano and O'Hearn to the Padres, Robert Murray.
You're getting somebody good. If you're getting both of them, you're getting somebody good.
Wow. Laureano and O'Hearn to the Padres. Wow.
All right, back to pipeline.
Yes, back to pipeline for the Padres. Who is a top? Oh, Astros acquire Jesus Sanchez for Astros give up right-handed pitcher Ryan Gusto for Jesus Sanchez. Transactions daily on Instagram gets the credit for that one.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but if you're
it's
going
a
full court press, yeah, for Dylan Cease it makes more sense.
Wow. Please be somebody good for those 2. If we get like the 20th and 22nd ranked prospects, I'm losing my mind.
Because Preller is stupid when it comes to dealing prospects. There's no way you guys got Cash Mayfield.
Oh, please.
I mean, I would be very, very happy with this. And, Josh can attest to this. I loved the Schoolcraft pick they made in the draft. So I think, I'm not saying it's official. I don't want to get your hopes up here. But Cash Mayfield, I think, makes almost too much sense to go back in this deal.
Give me Mayfield. Mayfield and Lamar King, and we are good. And what trade did the Orioles just announce? Oh, the Orioles just posted the Mullins trade. The Mullins trade has been fine.
Yeah, I'm going to say someone check on Wee Man because he's got opinions on Cedric Mullins. I know that much.
Who?
I say, who's the MLB The Show streamer that's like, Mullins again?
Oh, yeah, Little Man.
Little Man, thank you.
Cedric Mullins.
Wee Man, that's
escape him.
I saw him at my job like a month ago. And I was this close to just saying Cedric Mullins.
I saw him at the Angels-Orioles series. I think it was 2 years ago.
Oh, it's perfect. No, why are you saying Mookie? Anthony, why are you saying Mookie?
Mookie.
What happened to Mookie? Don't give me a heart attack like that.
Oh, yeah. Danny Coulomb to Rangers is official. Still waiting on return. But, wow, my anxiety right now being an Orioles fan, man. What are we getting? What are we getting?
You're getting a lot. He can't keep major league talent or like put together a coherent roster, but Elias, I will give him credit for this. He has a good eye for talent. I think we don't know what Drew Jones is yet, but going Holiday over Jones in the 22 draft was a stroke of genius.
Yes.
At this point. So I'll give the man credit. He knows how to pick talent. We do not have any return packages yet. Oh, Dodger Twitter of fulfill the prophecy, get Cody Bellinger back. Cody Bellinger for Dustin May. I've unironically seen that.
So while we do have some downtime, here are some of the trades that we are waiting on the returns for. Obviously, Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano, the Carlos Correa trade, and the Danny Coulomb trade. Josh, Joe, please let me know if I missed any. Obviously, in the last, I'd say 45 minutes has been crazy.
I say we don't have anything on the Jesus Sanchez trade yet either, right?
No. And the baseball gods, this is from Bob Nightingale, the baseball gods certainly have a sense of humor. Correa's first game back with the Astros will be at Fenway Park, playing third base against, former Astros teammate Alex Bregman.
God bless. Well, let's see, because I was looking at the Astros reporter who broke the Jesus Sanchez trade, and
McTaggart.
this one because it's a screenshot of a Twitter DM. I've seen enough of these in my day. But he says Cease is about to be announced. It is at the 1 yard line.
Who's this?
I say it's the Astros reporter who first broke the Jesus Sanchez trade.
What's his name?
Let me go back. Michael Schwab. So I usually don't give credit to these kind of things, but he has been reliable today.
What's his at? Hold on. I'm trying to find him.
I know you're probably getting a lot of investors with the name Michael Schwab, but it is Michael Schwab 13.
Took 14. Oh, well, I can't find him.
You could just go to Jeff Passon's and you can get that's how I did it.
That's what I'm doing here.
Oh my goodness. And the crazy thing is all the good starters are still left on the market too. Yeah. So the Marlins are going to get probably someone's firstborn child for Alcantara. The Twins, I don't know. They're getting Fort Knox for Joe Ryan.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So what? So this stream goes till probably about 6:30 because trades have to be finalized at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Not even going to try the other time zones. Hawaii 6 a.m. I know that, but trades are still going to be announced till, what do you guys think? 7:30 Eastern, 4:30.
I would say probably
Pacific?
4 at the latest.
4 at the latest.
I remember in 2019, like that deadline was whatever for the most part. So my brothers and I are like, oh, let's just go get Jack in the Box, right? The deadline's been over for like 20 minutes. And then I check my phone while I'm waiting for the food. I'm like, motherfuckers, Zach Greinke is an Astro? When did this happen?
Yeah. So one of the guys the Orioles got in Cedric Mullins trade, Gomez, I believe, can throw 105 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness.
1047. Sorry, the phone keeps going up. We don't want to miss anything.
Oh no, I say.
We don't want to miss
We're
anything.
I'm between passing the TV, checking the chat. We are on top of it at this point. But unfortunately, it seems like everything just comes in waves here.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've not even really touched on how good the Padres are now with O'Hearn and Laureano. So let's actually get into that now while we have some downtime. Is you, Jack, you know these two players better than both of us. How do you think this goes for San Diego here?
Yeah, so when I think of these guys, I think of Ryan O'Hearn as a non-consistent hitter. He's not very consistent. He's going to probably give you a lot of offers, but Ramon Laureano, he's going to get on base at least once or twice a game. But one of the issues with Ramon Laureano is he can be a crash out. I think he's gotten ejected now twice this year. He loves to talk to the umpires after he strikes out. When there's a call he doesn't like and he's going out to the field, he will have a conversation with the umpire. I believe that got him ejected in 23 or 22 when he was in Baltimore for a game. So just watch that for him. But Ryan O'Hearn's not that great of a guy in my opinion. But sorry, I don't know if you heard that, but flash flood warning siren just went off on my phone. Sorry about that. But I really like the Ramon Laureano part, and obviously Sears and Miller, we've touched on that. But my favorite guy that they've gotten today is probably Laureano or Fermin. Oh.
Yeah, I say right. No Hearn.
Austin Bateman.
All right, back to Pipeline.
Their number 4 prospect, a left-handed pitcher.
Hey.
Okay.
I don't think I got your hopes up on that one then. If Boston Bateman.
He's pretty much the same as Mayfield.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great job there, Elias.
Great job, Mike Elias.
You can stay now. Just learn how to use the ATM card in free agency and you'll be solid. Yeah. Get the points. But, you're touching on, O'Hearn likes the app in his mouth a lot, doesn't seem like the greatest person. That's a perfect Padre, in my opinion.
Laureano. Sorry, I might have said O'Hearn on that.
Oh. Laureano sounds like the perfect San Diego Padre, in my opinion.
Really?
Fits right in with Tatis and Machado. The three of them screaming at each other in the dugout. Woo!
Jeez.
All the Twitter interactions.
Was it you who had to leave at 1:30?
That was me, but I could stay a little bit longer now. Just a little bit.
I say, let us know when you got to go. But
yeah,
I'm just looking at all the transactions that the Padres have done, and how many of those transactions are involving some of their top prospects.
They gave up 2 top 5 prospects, including the number 3 in baseball.
Yeah, but
that's quite a bit. I mean, that's giving up quite a bit for what they're. I mean, they're getting a lot stronger than they were. Even though O'Hearn may not be the most consistent hitter, when you have a lot of big bats, that can be that guy. You don't have to be the most consistent hitter. You just got to be able to show up when you're needed. So I mean, when you think about it that way, it's not a bad deal for the Padres to get someone like that because he can hit for power. and he plays first base. They need those two things. They don't need a guy who's going to hit for average. So, I mean, he can be who he is and still be a big contributor to that team. And so that's why I honestly think like that's a good move for them, and it's going to make them a lot more dangerous.
What just dropped, Jack?
Got two things here. Rockabacco of Masson Sports, who covers the Orioles and Nationals. Rockabacco does Orioles. Hearing but not confirmed that the Orioles are getting 6 players back from San Diego in O'Hearn Laureano trade. And I'm also hearing on Twitter, not a real reliable source, but that Bryce Matthews could be the prospect going back to Minnesota because, as I do want to give the credit where it is due here, Chandler Rome did say there's one prospect going back to Minnesota, but how do we take that? Is he the only player going back? Because we did hear earlier, I believe I said it about 20 minutes ago, that there was MLB players going back in that deal. So could it be Bryce Matthews?
It has to be because
it's got to be.
Because you see the Twins are eating some of the money, and if they're eating some of the money, that means they have to get somebody really damn good here. So, yeah, you have to get Bryce Matthews for sure. And if 6 prospects are going back to Baltimore, odds for Lamar King go way up for you, sir.
Come on, get me Lamar King. Calvert Hall Cardinals. Hey, shout out Calvert Hall. Go Hall. But
but if you look at this from Houston's perspective, let them dominate the deadline again. They have to know this is their last chance at this point, is they cannot keep pulling like a Cam Smith out of their ass.
Yeah. Do we think that Cash Mayfield's out of the question now?
You know, like the amateur GM in me is like, there's no way Cash Mayfield is part of this deal. But I have lived through every Palooza here. It's not out of the question for him to trade Bateman and Mayfield in this deal and just go for it. Every team at this point is just going for it.
John Heyman, cease to Houston is progressing. Astros might get a reliever too if deal can be completed.
Yeah, I say cease to Houston. It has to happen at this point. Let me go overall to the top actual 100 here and see how many top 100 prospects the Padres have traded today. Or they traded 1, but they've traded a lot of high upside and depth from this farm system. Yeesh. Yeah. I say we have. I don't think Cease goes to Houston. It's taking too long. Smoke screen. See, I'm inclined to believe that, but for me, it's really about you got to put something back in this farm system here. I joke about this, but this 2024 Dodgers playoff run they went on last year has broken the Padres franchise seemingly at this point. Again, it depends on who else is going back to Baltimore here. But if it is Mayfield and Bateman, yeah, we broke the Padres franchise at this point because the 24 innings is haunting them. We have broken Anthony Volpe at this point because he can't stop making errors at shortstop here. So, yeah, let's just see. And at this point, I don't want the Dodgers to make a move. This is way too much of a seller's market here. Do not buy in.
Yeah, with the Dodgers, it may be that being silent might be their best move and just allowing all their injured players to come back from the IL might be better for them than trying to, because if other teams are giving up this much for what they're getting, I can't understand how, we're talking about the Padres and who they're giving up, right? They get the number 3 overall prospect and their number 1 prospect, their number 16 prospect, their number 7 prospect, and their number 14 prospect. And that's just some of them. That's the ones we know of. And they're giving up all these prospects to maybe, right? Maybe make the World Series. Because there's definitely a lot of teams that are already good without making additions. I mean, the Dodgers, for as many flaws they have, are still up 3 games on this team. And you still have the Cubs and other teams like that are still.
Do we have the return package?
Got some sort of excitement going on. What
Lamar King is
get?
reported to be a name floating around in the deal. Lamar King's name, Caveres Tears, and Terso Ornelas are 3 names that I'm seeing here on Twitter that are just floating around. I've seen King twice. I've seen, hold on, let me go back and count them. I've seen Tyson Neighbors' name. I've seen Ornelas a lot. Kale Fountain too, which I wouldn't be too mad at. But if we get King, man, if we get King, I'm going to be so excited.
Yeah. So,
and that just solidifies the point I'm trying to make with the Padres. And I mean, they have one of the best, if not the best, overall farm system in Major League Baseball. But come on, you got to keep some of them. You can't get rid of all of your top prospects to win. And because they're, like I was just about to say, but there's so many good teams in the National League right now, and some of them that are underperforming. And if you don't, I mean, you're hoping that you can overcome that this year. And overcome the Dodgers, and overcome the Cubs and the Brewers, who are coming on strong as the season continues, and and stuff like that. So you got to overcome these teams who are already really good without making any additions, and you're going out and you're swinging for the fences on guys you hope will be what you need them to be.
And yeah, just lots of crazy news coming out regarding the Padres. They're basically just wow.
It's like a whole new team.
Do we think the Orioles are done?
Who else do they have left to? Oh, hold on. Charlie Morton time, baby.
Oh, darn it. I thought you were telling me that Morton got traded.
But I unironically, because we still have a little over an hour left. But there has been no movement on the starting pitching market here. And if you just look at, a lot of teams, cough, the Yankees, you need starting pitching.
And they haven't gotten one deal done yet for starting pitching. That's shocking to me. They got good bullpen deals. They got those, but they still don't have that third or fourth starter that can shore up behind Rodon and Max Fried. So yeah, I'm surprised they still haven't gotten any starters.
And the Red Sox, I mean, how long have they been saying they need a number 2 behind Garrett Crochet at this point? Is they need to get something
since they acquired him?
To go help out my boy. God, I love Crochet so much. But yeah, like MLB Network right now, Joe Ryan, Cease, Kelly, Keller, Alcantara, Gallen, Morton, Severino, Justin Verlander. Sure, why not? Ben Verlander says he's good, so we have to believe him at this point. Like, they're all still there.
Come on, that's his brother. He's going to have to say he's good.
And unfortunately, San Diego and Houston have kind of fucked the market at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of San Diego,
2008 housing crash, but I feel like this is what it felt like almost, because nothing makes sense. Values are out of whack. It is crazy.
Speaking of San Diego, I did just get notified that there is a good possibility that Cash Mayfield and Boston Bateman are both in the return deal. A source that I'm close to with my podcast and my summer camp, a lot of the guys that we meet there, they stay in touch with us, and they know me, and some of my friends are big O's fans, so they kind of hook us up with some stuff. He wanted me to keep his name unannounced, which is fair, but Cash Mayfield and Boston Bateman would be huge for the Orioles. That would be huge. And of course, Lamar King, but I asked him about Lamar King, and he said,
King
who?
Is the real coup.
Yeah. Give me Lamar King. I don't care about no Ethan Salas.
But, oh my God. Well, Yankees are still talking to teams about starting pitchers. We will get to the Yankees in a second. But if the Orioles can do this, if they pulled it off and got Mayfield and Boston Bateman, this Orioles team, I'm suddenly a lot higher on them and their future chances at this point here.
If they get two of those 3, I will stand up here and I will sing a Taylor Swift song, karaoke style, at the end of this thing. That is how confident I am. I hate Taylor Swift. I will sing for 2 of those 3 prospects.
And I think, well, not to get in the offseason, but Elias seems to have learned his lesson here. If they can like sign a Dylan Cease or Zach Gallen in the offseason, oh man, does Baltimore look very scary in the near term and in the future too. What a job they've done at this deadline here. As I know it must suck to watch all these players leave, but the returns you're getting are phenomenal.
Yeah, if you ever do like a win or loser of the deadline, like video, or list, you got to put Baltimore at the top of that list of winners because of what they're getting in return.
So I was just reading that Tomoyuki Sagano, a Japanese rookie this year, he's 35, is also worded to possibly be in that trade. So then he and Charlie Morton, well, really Charlie Morton's the only guy who I'm confident will get traded. The only other guy who I'm confident will get traded by 6 o'clock. Zach Eflin was just put on the IL for the 3rd time this year, 15-day IL with a back injury. He could still get traded because it's only 15 days. And with the other 2 back injuries that he suffered this season, he was back within 15 to 20. But then Tomoyuki Sagano is a guy who here, I have his stats actually here on the sheet that I made. Tomoyuki Sagano. He's 8-5. He's got 71 strikeouts. Not a huge strikeout guy. A 1.33 whip and a 4.38 ERA.
It's the home run ball that's been killing him this year, right?
Yes. Yep.
And granted, I've not been watching a lot of Orioles games, but I'm assuming if the home run ball is killing him, they're not going out to the Great Wall of Baltimore and left. They're going all out and right. Because if they're going out and right, I think moving to San Diego helps him a lot. If they're going out to left, then he's in trouble.
Oh my goodness. Samuel Basallo has just been scratched from the Norfolk Tides lineup.
That makes
There
sense.
you go.
Traded? Is he getting traded or is he coming up?
It's one of the two.
I mean, Preller's crazy, but if you get Basallo, it makes sense that you're getting Mayfield and Bateman.
Yeah, if they get Basallo, I also wouldn't be shocked if Salas comes, and that would just be a one-for-one trade on its own. Just Basallo for Salas and maybe some cash. I feel like Basallo is a better player than Ethan Salas because he can play first base, and frankly, I think he can hit better. Thank you, PC3 Nation. Thanks for sticking on here, man.
Yeah, for me, it's very clear that Salas's bat just has not come along whatsoever. And yes, he's a good defensive catcher. But you know who else is a good defensive catcher? Adley Rutschman. So you don't need him. Just hold on to the guy who can be a very good DH.
This is getting annoying with like every 5 minutes we're getting an update from Bob Nightingale or John Heyman on this. Dylan Cease to Houston, and they're literally saying the same things but rewording it.
Ah, yes, trade deadline season.
Yep.
Love you, Bob.
Houston Astros are still not done and say they are in deep talks with the Padres. For real. Like, yeah.
I mean, this last hour, I think this is when you're going to start seeing it just one after another that it's one of these starters is getting traded here.
Let's go through some available guys. Not just starters. Joe Ryan, Mackenzie Gore, Dylan Cease, Stephen Kwan, Jaron Duran, Mullins Laureano off the market, Charlie Morton, Griffin Jacks, Merrill Kelly, Mitch Keller, Willie Castro, Willie be a Yankee, Willie be a Blue Jay, talked about that earlier, Edward Cabrera, Sandy Alcantara, Zach Gallen, Ryan O'Hearn, he's heading to San Diego, David Bednar, sounds like Robert Suarez is staying put, Luis Robert, Marcelo Zuna, Adrian Hauser, throw-up guy, Jose Caballero is a guy who I snuck on here thinking that might get traded, maybe not now. Brandon Lau, same thing. Pete Fairbanks, Harrison Bader was already traded. Timmy Casagano and Eflin, and then Rice Iglesias and Pierce Johnson. That is a lot of names.
Yep. And
You still got Mackenzie Gore who could be traded.
no, the Nationals said they're
He's not
holding
one-
out for the Godfather offer on Mackenzie Gore, and I don't know. I think someone could make a Godfather offer at this point, but
I've got
I
one
think-
for him right now. Just give me 1 second, and I will have you the offer of a lifetime for Mackenzie Orr.
I'm curious who would get him in this scenario.
The Orioles could trade their second prospect, Enrique Bradfield Jr. He's a double-A outfielder. Could trade their number 5 prospect, Nate George. He's a single-A outfielder, but doing really good. Chase McDermott hasn't really panned out. Trade him. And then also add in Trey. No, I would keep Trey Gibson. Add in Aaron Estrada, and I think the Nats would say yes. I don't think the Orioles are going to go after him, but it's a trade where maybe add a little bit more, but I definitely think the Nats would say yes to some sort of a trade with the Orioles.
Yeah, because Robert Hassel III does not look inspiring. Here is James Wood is incredible, but you still need to fill out 2 spots in that outfield. So I think
And we have a trade. The San Diego Padres have posted on their Twitter that they have acquired infielder Will Wagner from the Toronto Blue Jays in exchange for catcher Brandon Valenzuela. Will Wagner is the son of now Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. Willie Castro, you're definitely going to Toronto now.
Yep. I say nice buy low for the Padres here, and then
I want to comment on how sneaky that was. We didn't hear anything about that from Rosenthal or anybody. The Padres put that right out on their social media.
Good for them, honestly.
Great for them, man.
Because I don't know if you guys are fans of European soccer, and I'm not going to derail us too much on this one, but like the Jeff Passan, Fabrizio Romano of like European soccer spoils everything. Like, every transfer that's going to be made at this point. And it's not fun anymore. This is fun because everybody's thrown out there. Speaking of which, has Mike Elias's burner Twitter started tweeting yet or no?
Yes, we do need to keep an eye on that. What's that again? MLB executive or something?
MLB executive burner.
I don't think that's him. I think it's somebody impersonating him.
It'd be really funny if it was him.
No. It's not him. It's definitely not him. It's somebody impersonating him.
We're just looking. I'm just saying, only tweeted once in the past 24 hours. Man's busy. He can't be running his alt Twitter.
It's somebody impersonating him. They're really smart. I don't think Michael Elias would do that. Oh,
all right. So, with all these starters, one, I think we all know that Charlie Morton is going to be gone for sure. I think Luis Severino was probably the next most likely to be traded. After that, who do we think is number 3 to be traded?
Zach Eflin.
I would say Merrill Kelly, even though I think the Diamondbacks' price is too high at this point.
Ooh, somebody's saying that the Padres might be sending Will Wagner to AAA. Sorry to go back on that. It's really hard to form a show during the trade deadline, man. It's just
it's all over the place here. And obligatory Dodger mentioned here, but Jacob Brownson, who's a lesser known Dodger writer who I trust a lot, says that Alden Gonzalez, has talked about the Dodgers have the prospect capital to acquire anyone they want, but the question is, are they willing to give up that much? And they're not.
They usually aren't.
I don't hate to say this is a punt year, but I think this is a punt year for the Dodgers.
Well, I think all the guys that they were highly targeted for the Dodgers all went off the board early, and I think once that happened, I think they realized they were probably going to be outbid. I was talking with a Yankees fan myself this morning, and we were both kind of feeling like, man, is everyone colluding against the Dodgers and Yankees so they don't get anybody? But I mean, to some degree, I I think it's because the Dodgers don't want to overbid. They don't want, and they're probably getting outbid at this point, but they don't want to overdo it, because if the Dodgers have shown anything, it's a loyalty to their prospects and to holding on to them, and maybe to some degree for too long. But that's what they're known for. They're known for developing lots of players and holding on to a lot of them until they absolutely have to. Now, they won the World Series last year, and I mean, obviously you want to win every year, but if you're looking at this from their perspective, they just won a World Series. They're not desperate to win another World Series this year. Where there's a lot of teams out there that are a lot like San Diego, who are incredibly desperate because they haven't won any World Series. And so you're sitting back as the Dodgers and you're thinking, you have your rivals, one of your biggest rivals, who is just giving their entire, it feels like a lot of their farm system just to beat you, not to win the World Series, it feels like, but just to beat you. And I don't know, but if I'm the Dodgers, I'm sitting back and just laughing, because the Dodgers are gonna be good for years. The Padres, you can't say that necessarily, because they're trying to get all these players that are gonna have them win maybe now, and yet giving up a lot of their future to do it. So I can't say the Dodgers are at this point just hanging back and maybe just make a couple small deals and that's it.
Yeah, I do have an update on the Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn trade. Brandon Butterworth, an infielder from the Padres, was drafted last year in the 12th round with the 360th pick. He plays infield, second and short, or mainly short, for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, high A affiliate of the Padres. He's batting .267 with 11 home runs and 46 RBIs. He is another headline name in that trade. I'm losing hope. If we're calling that a headline name who isn't even in their top 30, I'm losing hope.
If we're looking at it, we're waiting on a lot of return packages. Like the latest update we got from Astros Correa is, they're going to pay a majority of the contract. We still don't know who's going there. We still don't know the full return package yet for Baltimore. You have to assume at this point that it's a lot because it's Preller.
Third one, isn't there? There's a third one, isn't there? Right? That we still waiting on a return for?
Jesus Sanchez, if you want to call it that, and
Jesus Sanchez's return is back. Oh, Danny Coulomb.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, ESPN just went off. Oh, that's what it was.
Oh. Yeah, all I'm having on my Twitter timeline right now is just Dodger fans being very calm and understanding at the current situation. No overreactions, no hyperbole, none of that stuff. We're being totally normal right now.
You being sarcastic over there?
Yep. You would act like the house is on fire at this point. Do something, Friedman. He's smarter than you, right? I admit I'm a dumbass. I put Patrick Bailey in my top 50 players over, Cal Raleigh. I'm an idiot. And even I can see that this is not the market to go buying right now.
No.
I mean, I love my team, but yeah, let's not do this here. Because, look, Conforto Insanity run. Kershaw is the reason why Outman got traded. Yeah, dude, just calm down here, people.
Sorry about that, guys.
Wow.
Computer was about to die. So I had to switch locations. Sorry about that.
Why would Kershaw be the reason why he gets traded? Some people.
Oh, so here's a name that has not come up yet, but was one of the names like I had as a marquee name. Griffin Jacks.
Yes.
Surely he's gone at this point too. God damn paywalls. gonna read the
Are
article.
you serious, man? Go Terps, but hey, I mean, and they are, not trying to get off track that much, but go Terps. What's this from Bob Knight?
It broke my heart that ASU, the college I go to online only and have no rooting affiliation for, lost in the playoffs. Damn.
Who's that?
Arizona, the prospect or the college?
Oh, college.
Yeah, Arizona State.
Okay.
Camp Scottaboo legend, but I wasn't too invested in our college football playoff run.
But here we go. The Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring outfielder Alex Call from the Washington Nationals, a source tells ESPN's Jeff Passan.
Who?
Alex Call from the Nats. He's decent.
All right, let's pull it up here.
He's batting .270.
I mean, this is the best we were going to do.
54 hits, 3 homers.
I say 119 OPS plus, righty. So platooning with Conforto for sure. But
I wish they would have sent Conforto for this guy.
what? He was so good in Boston. He's heating up now. Don't worry.
He actually in the last 10 games, I think, was like batting like 3 something, like 340 something or whatever. So he's been playing better, but
that source that I was
is that enough?
No, go ahead.
Is that enough to save his season?
That source that I was talking about earlier, I just received a text from him. He was saying the Orioles-Padres trade probably won't be finalized until about 6:30. Lots of medicals that have to be passed. Ryan O'Hearn has shown up with a shoulder injury all of the sudden.
Of course he has.
And one of the prospects involved in the deal has also shown up with an injury. And also, I was reading not too long ago that if Leo DeVries was not traded to the Athletics, he would have been sent in this deal.
Wow. God damn, John Fisher ruining everything for us. Yeah, but I'm looking at Alex Call right now. First of all, a lot of control. He is a Dodger till 2029. But for me, first of all, he's got the perfect Dodger plate approach. Like, doesn't chase, doesn't whiff, doesn't strike out a lot, walks plenty. And then, one out above average in left field, which is presuming where I presume he's going to go. Absolutely, I will take that. Because let's pull up Michael Conforto now. Let's see this horrifying Baseball Savant page.
Do you see the update that there's only one prospect going to the Twins for Correa?
Yeah. Well, we had Major League Talent was part of this deal too. And, look, Michael Conforto, -6 outs above average. I will take the defense of Call, who, again, biased here, but we were talking about earlier, who's the under-the-radar piece? Alex Call might be that piece here if all works out for the Dodgers.
Well, what was Tommy Edman known for before he came to the Dodgers?
Versatility
and all the things, getting on base, making contact, not necessarily hitting for power, although that narrative went out the window last year. But I mean, he's got a lot of the same kind of feel that Tommy Edman had. So maybe he can be one of those deadline under the radar deals.
What you're saying is trading for him was a great call.
It could be.
Had to,
but Ramon Arias is being worded to be possibly traded once again from the Houston Astros. Let me see if I can cite a source here. I just opened Twitter and my friend sent me it, and then somebody else sent it. An Astros insider It's from a I'm not sure. I'm not going to buy that until I believe it, until I see it. But
well, again, like I was saying earlier, I would rather keep him for the depth because, Correa is injured or injury prone. Jeremy Pena was injured this year. So let's see. But I would rather keep him, even though your farm system is basically nothing.
right.
Okay. Actually, we do have an update on who is not going or not leaving Houston's organization here. Bryce Matthews is not going to either Miami or Minnesota in the deals today. That is from John Morosi as of 10 minutes ago. So Bryce Matthews is staying put in Houston.
I don't like that. I don't like that. There's no space for Bryce Matthews, in my opinion. But going to run the play, Ant. I'm assuming that's Ant with the question. I don't think Quan's getting traded. I think, like you're saying, it just got too quiet, and it's just getting too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it has become very clear that this is a seller's market, and every team is going to want the moon at this point. There's a reason why Alex Call, a name very under the radar that was not talked about whatsoever, is being traded to the Dodgers because everybody is asking for, the Fort Knox deposit, your firstborn child, 15% tariffs on all concessions purchases, whatever you want at this point. Because as has been demonstrated today, prices are really damn high. So get Stephen Kwan. It's not happening. Joe Ryan, I think that talk is dead. He is going to be staying in Minnesota at this point, unless, it's just crazy offer that they're blown away with here.
I have two updates. Sorry to interrupt, but John Heyman said Rangers, who have been trying for Dylan Cease, are now talking to the D-backs about Merrill Kelly, and Rock Kabako of Masson Sports, again for the Orioles, said at least one player in the Padres-Orioles deal is expected to be a major leaguer for the Padres, and that Laureano and O'Hearn may not be the only players going over to San Diego.
So Sagano would be going to San Diego then?
That's what I'm thinking. Sagano and possibly a prospect.
Yeah, because I think what's Yu Darvish? Has he pitched this year?
I don't know.
He's been injured
I think
lately.
so, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
So I have way too many tabs open. But yeah, Yu Darvish finally. Yeah, he's been pitching this year. But,
Okay.
He's not been the most healthy recently, and they need a lot of position player or a lot of pitching depth. So it does make sense to get Sagano and just hope.
Oh, yeah.
Pray that he can be good enough to get that home run problem under control.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, what's up, Ant?
Hey, I just got breaking news.
Oh,
What's up?
Things are heating up between the Astros and Dylan Cease.
yeah.
Oh my God! Thank you
I saw that, but I was like,
update.
First person to break it live on air. Oh, I think I'm gonna let you guys rock out, man. You guys are killing it. If I got something, I'll pop in. But yeah.
I think between me and Joseph, do you go by Joe or Joseph?
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. Ant, thanks for the stuff in the chat though. There's just so much, your phone's getting blown up. So
I got you. Keep cooking, y'all. Peace.
Thank you.
I'm saying, because Ant's a Braves fan. I think Marcell Ozuna. We've not heard anything about him, but he's got to be traded at this point. The Braves are way too far underwater for anything to make sense, except stealing or except selling.
this is my guy right here with the source. I'm going to mute and I'll let you know what he says. Just give me like 30 seconds, hopefully.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, because a lot of the names I thought were going to be traded here at the deadline just have not been whatsoever. I thought Marcell Ozuna was going to be one of the big names going out. Nothing on him. Crickets. Mitch Keller. The market.
No reports. No reports on Ozuna either. I mean, this whole time I've been reporting for you guys. I don't think I've copied a Ozuna report once, which is crazy. All right, let's hear what Jack has to say.
All right.
Merrill Kelly to the Rangers is heating up very much, but the Diamondbacks are asking for a lot in return for him. And then the other thing that I was told of is Tomoyuki Sagano is not going to San Diego at the moment, but other teams such as Houston and Texas are looking at him as a backup, and the Diamondbacks are also looking at him for a Kelly or Gallen replacement.
Interesting that the Diamondbacks would be looking at him as a Kelly Gallen replacement. Because where are they in the wild card standings? They don't think they can go for it.
Dodgers get Alex Cole. Nats get Eric Swan, Sean Polinon. Dodgers get Alex Cole. Nats get Eric Swan, Sean Polinon. Don't know who those guys are, so let me look them up real quick.
I don't think either of them are in the top 30 for the Dodgers off the top of my head. Yeah. Diamondbacks, you're 9 games back of a wild card spot. Don't act like you're getting a replacement and you're going for it. Get out of here.
Boston Red Sox and Texas Rangers are in strong pursuit of D-back starter Merrill Kelly with 45 minutes left until the deadline. Bob Knight.
Merrill Kelly is inevitably going to get traded here. He's the best realistic pitcher you can buy at this point. Because, yeah, Joe Ryan, not going to happen. Keller, not going to happen. So really, you're looking at it and just thinking of, okay, we have to get Merrill Kelly, but we don't want to give up too much at this point. So everyone's just playing chicken with each other right now in the starting pitching market.
Yeah. Eric Swan is a right-handed pitcher, number 16th prospect. Sean Polinon is another right-handed pitcher, 20th prospect. And more Padres-Orioles news, which has been confirmed by Dennis Lin, who has been breaking the returns for the Padres. Relief pitcher Tyson Neighbors for the Padres is returning or is coming to the Orioles. He is their 12th ranked prospect. So right now we know of number 12th ranked prospect, number 4th ranked prospects, and a not ranked prospect.
I say, and you do need relief help in that bullpen because even when you guys were at full strength, I never was a big believer in the bullpen aside from Bautista. So that makes sense.
Yeah, but this is just getting really crazy, and we haven't even said it. Rangers get Danny Coulomb, while the Twins get Garrett Horn. I feel like I recognize
the name. Is
he's a prospect, high A pitcher, a lefty. He has a 2.92 ERA this year in high A Cedar Rapids.
Okay, not the worst get in the world.
Garrett Horn is a lefty pitcher, yes.
I'm saying the Marlins have been good at, developing pitch. Or why did I say Marlins? I was thinking of Jesus Sanchez. But the Twins they're not good at developing pitching, but they can find talent every now and then. As they're one of the few teams to fleece the Rays.
Yeah. Hey, Ann, is this the first time you can say that you've had a guest in the middle of a tornado warning?
What is going on there?
On the show? I don't know. Flash flood warning, then now a tornado warning, but I'm good. It looks like it's staying a couple miles away from me. I'm just watching it, but I should be good. I have a protective shade up, so hopefully, first timer. Yeah, we've had lots of tornadoes here in the last couple of years, but nothing too bad. No fatalities from a tornado in Maryland since like the 1900s. So,
all right, we should stay
safe. Hopefully everybody's staying safe right now because this storm's deadly, right? Or not deadly, but nasty right now. But anyway, back to the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, going to the Dodgers for a second, you have to give up 2 top 30 prospects for a number 4 outfielder. Like, don't get me wrong, like,
That's
needed to
sad.
do this. Like, the Michael Conforto experiment, I'm over it at this point. I don't want him taking a lot of at-bats for my team. But we do have an update. Rangers are closing in on a deal for Merrill Kelly, which
Who is Gambo?
Rangers, let me look at their IL. Starting pitching is not a need I would have for them right off the top of my head. I know, is Evaldi? No, Molly's on the IL. I know that much.
Yes.
Let's say Dodger legend Josh Sborz is on the IL. Jake Berger's on the IL. Jacob Webb, Chris Martin, Molly.
Still 3 guys we still need for that San Diego-Baltimore trade. And then whoever else is going to San Diego.
Yeah. I mean, all right, it's just easy.
Red Sox have reached out to the Baltimore Orioles about Japanese rookie Tomoyuki Sagano.
But why? He's not your number 2.
I'm guessing because they can't get Merrill Kelly. They're thinking go for Sagano. Do you think there's a chance trade doesn't go through because of injury? Last thing that I heard was that O'Hearn, his shoulder was okay, and that it was more just figuring out the whole return with all prospects and stuff. But I think there's a really good chance that this trade does kind of – I think it happens. I think in some sort the Padres do get Laureano and O'Hearn. But I think the fact that it's taking so long and we're getting one return piece like every 15 minutes, I don't like it. But
yeah, there's some medical red flags.
It's trade deadline season.
Yeah. Let's
cool him to the Rangers.
Look at the Rangers pitching staff.
Wow. Look at this. We don't have a trade notification in the last 5 minutes from anybody on Twitter.
I say we've had, with the exception of Alex Call, it's been quiet for at least 45 minutes now.
Let's see.
Because we had the big bombs that were just going one after another. And now we've kind of got nothing for a while.
We had Will Wagner at the top of the hour. That wasn't really much, though. We've had Dylan Cease and Merrill Kelly rumors the whole time. We've had Tomoyuki Sagano rumors for this whole hour. Yeah, no real new trades. This could be one of the deadlines where a lot of players stay.
Yeah, because I finally got the Rangers pitching up, but Evaldi, DeGrom, Corbin, Leiter, Rocker. I know Leiter and Rocker are not who we thought they were going to be going in, but Merrill Kelly, he's good, but he doesn't fit a need for them. They need, at this point, Marcell Ozuna. There is not any good first baseman left on the market. Yeah, they need Ozuna in the worst possible way. And then just hope and pray Jake Berger bounces back to form. Actually, I've seen Jock Peterson play first. He can play first.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff brewing up in Boston right now. Not sure what that is, but a lot of Boston accounts are tweeting like something happened behind the scenes. What do you think that could be?
At this point, they're getting their number 2. Who it is, it has to be Merrill Kelly. The Rangers thing is a smokescreen. As much as I hate to, plug another streamer, I'm checking in on a Boston guy I watch, see what's coming up on his screen, and he's got nothing for Boston.
Interesting. Okay. What's been the move of the deadline so far? Your favorite move? Let's go with something a little underrated.
Okay, I think the best. Oh, I got to go to Morosi. I think we have the return on the Padres Orioles trade. But the move of the deadline, at least
I got it. You want me to say it? Yeah. Padres get O'Hearn. Pretty much the thing we talked about earlier. Orioles are getting Boston Bateman, Brandon Butterworth, Tyson Neighbors, Cobb Hightower, Victor Figueroa, and Tanner Smith. Jack, we got the return. Let's hear the return one more time.
Orioles. You said Morosi had it?
I got it. Orioles get Boston Bateman, Brandon Butterworth, Tyson Neighbors, Cobb Hightower, Victor Figueroa, and Tanner Smith.
Wow, 2 top 10 prospects.
I will be right back. I have to go feed the dog.
Yeah.
But literally, give me.
Immediately, 2 top 10 prospects is fantastic. On top of that, getting, Tyson Neighbors, who is going to be a good reliever for them. I don't think he can join the rotation at any point. Man, let's look at the rest here.
Oh, the Texas Rangers are acquiring right-hander Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Official. Jeff Passan just tweeted that out.
Wow.
Do you think, real quick on the O'Hearn, before we talk about this?
Yeah.
That feels like an overpay, right?
It is an overpay.
Okay.
Because essentially you do not have any control of Ryan O'Hearn after this. You're really getting him till you get knocked out of the playoffs at this point. But the National League is so hyper competitive that I get it. You have to make this move. But to give up, your number 4 prospect, I understand you guys are great at finding pitchers. You're also great at developing pitchers here. As I thought Boston Bateman could be someone who they can rely on going forward here. Cobb Hightower, I think, will develop very, very nicely. I don't necessarily know where he's going to play for Baltimore just because the middle infield seems set. Maybe him at third base makes a lot of sense going forward. Maybe move Gunnar to third base here because he has not been a good defensive shortstop for over a year now. But yeah, they way overpaid. And it's good for Baltimore because you have to reset and figure out who your guys are. And they got a lot of good names, a lot of good pitchers too.
Yep, Merrill Kelly is a Texas Ranger.
Yep.
And I do want to add on the Padres-Orioles thing. Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, and Tyson Neighbors are probably the 3 guys. But guess who did not get traded to the Orioles? Lamar King.
No Lamar King.
Really upset. I think you could have replaced Tanner Smith with him. Sorry, no hate to Tanner Smith, but you're not a top 30 prospect, and you're also not from Calvert Hall. Brandon Butterworth, again, you're not a top 30 prospect. Victor Figueroa is not a top 30 prospect either. Oh, yeah, he is, number 29. So you get 29 for 6 in Hightower, 12 in Neighbors, Butterworth and Smith not ranked. So again, that is 4th, 6th, 12th, 29th, and 2 unranked prospects for Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. I think it's a fair trade.
I think it's more of an overpay, but we've been saying that about the Padres a lot. And given the market, yeah, it is a fair trade because
given the market, yes.
Because as we're going to touch on when we talk about Merrill Kelly to the Rangers, there are not any bats left on this market that I would go for at this point, with the exception of Marcell Ozuna. You do not have that many options to pick from at this point. So yeah, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. It's like an Uber surcharge, If it's busy at the airport when your flight lands, you're going to pay an extra 20% here.
Right.
And
yeah,
it's going to be for Stephen Kwan, it's going to be an extra 40, 50% here. It's like trying to get an Uber after the Super Bowl kind of search pricing him. Oh yeah, it sucks you have to give up 2 top 6 guys, but it was not going to be any cheaper.
Yeah.
So now we got to talk about Merrill Kelly here because the Texas rotation has been very good, don't get me wrong. But I didn't think Merrill Kelly was necessarily the buy here. They have the rotation now on MLB Network. DeGrom, Evaldi, Kelly, Leiter, Corbin, Rocker. And if Molly, which it's looking less and less likely he may be coming back this year. But if he comes back, that 1 through 4 is incredible.
We have news from John Heyman. Willie Castro to the Chicago Cubs for prospects.
Okay.
And I do have some more Orioles news that I'm going to be probably getting a phone call about in any second regarding Tomoyuki Sagano.
Yeah, so I will
Oh,
talk
wow.
about
Another one. The Los
Oh,
Angeles Angels continue to add at the deadline, acquiring Oswald Peraza from the Yankees per Jack Curry of Yes Sports.
Oswald Peraza.
Yeah.
Let's do this one first because this is easy.
Hey, Ant, do you want to
What
give
do you-
your thoughts while I take this call about the new Orioles news that's apparently coming out regarding Morton and Sagano?
Let's go. I know ball. Take your call, man. What do you think, Joe?
What are the Angels doing?
Is Oswald old?
No, he was like the young guy that everyone thought was going to be good for them. He was like their DJ LeMahieu replacement. He's the reason why Jazz Chisholm could not play second base, if I remember correctly. He was born in the year 2000. He's 25. And I understand he's not going to be – there's not a spot for him in the Bronx. He's been very bad as a Yankee. Let's be honest here. But to just get him, what are you doing, Angels? We were talking about this like an hour and a half ago. Is you have a lot of great pieces that can get you a lot of money, a lot of prospect capital, but you don't want money or prospect capital. No, you are delusional enough to think you can go for it here. You are very clearly the fourth best team in your division here. The Rangers are going to kick your ass. Houston is going to kick your ass. The Mariners are going to kick your ass here.
So is this a buy now move? That's what they're doing?
It's more of a play for the future. But if you're looking at it, on the year, Peraza is hitting 152 with a 212 on base and a 453 OPS. I think Miguel Vargas, when he was not allowed to swing a bat in spring training, had a higher on-base percentage than Oswald Peraza does right now. I mean, I get a change of scenery would be nice for him. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm confused on why they would buy guys like Joe Ryan, who are a little bit older, and then make this move too.
They could, but they don't have the prospect capital to go get
I thought they got Joe Ryan.
Or any.
I thought the Angels got Joe Ryan yesterday.
No, that would have been a bigger news. They got two relievers yesterday.
Thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, they got two relievers.
Okay, so is Joe Ryan on the move?
Joe Ryan's on the Twins. He is like the premier name. And I'm not comparing him to Tarek Skubal before I say this. I want to make that clear. But you know how last year at the deadline, a lot of the talk was like, oh, is Tarek Skubal going to be traded? Like the Tigers can get a lot if they trade Skubal. That's basically what Joe Ryan is at this deadline. He is the very clear best starting pitcher that is technically available, but he is not going to be traded.
Okay. I think someone I know got sent out because I saw that I got sent out then, I guess, because someone posted on their Instagram story that's an Angels fan. So I was just convinced that they got Joe Ryan yesterday, like all day.
Was it Kevin? But I think it sounds like something Kevin would do.
I got to figure out what Angels fan I know that got sent out.
Yeah, and then, it's just Willie Castro to the Cubs. For me, looking at it, Matt Shaw, yes, he's hitting better right now, but he is very disappointing on the year. Let's be honest here. He's not been great for the Cubs. So, yeah, you had to go out and make a deal and get another bat here because the lineup is very, very good. But, it can be better. You're competing with the Joneses of the world here. As much as I bitch and moan about my Dodgers, they still have a higher team OPS than the Cubs. They got to, improve the areas of strength a little bit here, make the lineup a little bit deeper. And I think that's exactly what Willie Castro is going to be doing here.
The Red Sox are making a late effort to acquire Joe Ryan. I'm going to add Jack back right now. But do you think them moving Willie Castro is a sign that maybe Joe Ryan is more available?
He is more available because, they're the Twins. They're selling everything worth value. And they can get a lot here, so I would not be surprised if they do trade Joe Ryan here. But what news you got, Jack?
Tomoyuki Sagano is not expected to be traded. There is a thought that pitching prospect Chase McDermott might get traded, though. But from Ken Rosenthal, left-handed pitcher Cole Drake and right-handed pitcher David Hageman, part of the package going from Texas to Arizona for Merrill Kelly. Source tells the Athletic.
Cole Drake. Because I did a lot of work on Cole Drake because I thought that's who they should have traded for Marcell Ozuna.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cole Drake a lot here. And he kind of fits the timeline that the Diamondbacks have. I think they are ready to go make a push next year, because I thought going into the season they were the second best team in the National League. Turns out that wasn't necessarily the case here. But, if you do not bring back Zach Gallen or sign him to a long-term deal, you're not going to be without Corbin Burns for a majority of the year. I think Cole Drake fits perfectly into the timeline in Arizona for sure.
Yeah, while we have hopefully some downtime, at least a minute, let's go to some of the names that are still available here. Marcell Ozuna, Adrian Hauser. I'm just trying to say some names so I don't say 20 like I did last time. Joe Ryan, Mackenzie Gore, Dylan Cease, Quan, and Duran are probably the top 5.
Yeah.
I think you would have to.
And then no movement on Luis Robert. Which Chicago, you need to be selling him, but what do I know? Yeah, it's very clearly going to explode in a big way, and then Ant just dropped it. No Ozuna news, which, what are you doing, Alex Anthopoulos? He's really coasting off 2021 here. He is the Milwaukee Bucks of general managers, if I'm being honest here. Fantastic 2021. 2022, they were very good. And that's it. He kind of, I don't want to say he kind of screwed himself, but by locking your core in right now, he has no flexibility to do anything else. So you have a rare opportunity to add prospect capital, and you're choosing not to do it. It's just baffling to me. I don't know why Ozuna's not being talked about.
Yeah, I think Ozuna is. See, to me, it's kind of like the Arias thing, and part of the reason why I think Tomoyuki Sagano is getting traded, he's a fan favorite. And he's reliable too. So I think it's going to have to be one of those things where you're going to have to be blown away by a package, and Mitch Bratt has been added to the D-backs return. Not for Merrill Kelly. Oh, for Merrill Kelly. Okay. For Merrill Kelly.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I'm just saying they could get a haul for him, and swing state voters or something else, but I don't get why Marcell Ozuna is a fan favorite here, man. He's got way too much off the field stuff for me to be yeah, I like Marcell Ozuna. And this is coming from a man who defended Julio Arias for a time before, the second incident came out here. So I'm not above it either. I'm not saying I am.
Yeah, and just
if so much.
Yeah, and just kind of looking at the YouTube thing, looks like we might have another viewer. So here are the prospects going from the Padres to the Orioles in the Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano blockbuster. Left-handed pitcher, the San Diego Padres. 4th prospect, left-handed pitcher, Boston Bateman. 6th prospect, infielder, Cobb Hightower. 29th ranked prospect, infielder, outfielder, Victor Figueroa. 12th ranked prospect, right-handed pitcher, Tyson Neighbors. Unranked infielder, Brandon Butterworth. And unranked right-handed pitcher, Tanner Smith.
Again, very solid return for them. Again, getting Bateman was the win because he fits perfectly into the Baltimore timeline. Yeah, just a great trade.
I love
for
the
Baltimore.
Hightower part of it too. Are any of them ranked top 100 though?
No, Salas is the only top 100 prospect.
Darn. Mayfield, no?
Mayfield, no. I'll double check, but when I was at the top 100, only one Padre was on the list.
And is Cruz Schoolcraft even in the Padres top 30 on MilB.com?
He is.
He is.
He's not, but he's one of those that you're. He's not, but he's one of those you're taking your shot with. I just like his fastball and the fact he keeps his arm in tight when he's pitching with that kind of length, because it's so much easier just to whip your shoulder around, and that's where all the problems come in. If you keep it tight, I think he's got a lot to build off. That's why I'm high on Schoolcraft.
Yeah, I don't know how he's not a top 30 prospect. He was your first round pick.
See, I don't think. Let me look at the Dodgers, but I don't think our first or our compensatory pick.
Our compensatory pick is, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Edgardo Henriquez. Nope, ours isn't. All right, let me double check. But
ours isn't either. Oh, none of our first years are. Huh. I would.
Well, you guys still have a deep farm.
Yeah, I would put him over this Jordan Sanchez guy, though. I would put him over Joshua Lorenzo. I would put him over Ethan Anderson. But
yeah, none of them are in the Dodgers.
Let's see if the first overall pick is. I would think, but you never know. He's not top 5. He's not top 10.
Interesting.
He's not top 20. He's not top 30. Eli Willits is not in the Nats top 20, not in the Nats top 30.
Hold on, I think this might be just an MLB pipeline thing, because I'm like, okay, let's go to Colorado. They have a terrible farm. Surely Ethan Holiday.
He's not.
Yeah, it's an MLB pipeline thing. Ethan Holiday is not on the list.
But anyways, let's break down while we have some downtime. Which I don't think it'll be the last trade of the day, but could it? Angels get Oswald Peraza and Yankees get Wilberson de Pena.
Oh, absolutely hate this trade for the Angels. Like, what are you doing? Like, Peraza is not even that good anyways. But no, it's okay. He will help us. And I saw an argument from the company I used to write for that, you should make a buy if you're the Angels, just for like the clubhouse morale of it, to show like we're here with you guys and we believe in you and all that. And I get that. But I always go back to, you have what everybody else needs here. And to not take advantage of it in a very clear seller's market, like, you're not going to get a haul for Tyler Anderson, but you can get something for him. You can get a lot for Taylor Ward. I know that much, but to buy, I can understand a little bit. Like, the relievers they got yesterday are fine. But to get a position player, not even a good one, is baffling to me.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm looking at DePena's stats. Not necessarily a good player, but he got a lot better year over year. Like, I'll take a 799 OPS in the minors.
Add in Anthony Rendon and you could get an MVP.
It's really funny when Anthony Rendon goes to New York and just goes off. He's suddenly not hurt and loves baseball again.
But so, Joe, with some of the downtime, who still gets traded? Joe Ryan, I think, is going to the Red Sox.
Okay, we've not heard the name because I got my list up too. I think Pete Fairbanks might get traded. There's still some reliever needed teams, and Tampa Bay is always kind of a little sneaky. I think Fairbanks will get
Passan
traded.
has tweeted the Kansas City Royals are acquiring left-handed starter Bailey Falter from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Chino Hills legend.
Hey, the GOAT got moved. Hey, Jack, that literally used to be my neighbor, and I'm not joking. Shout out Bailey Falter, man. Chino Hills legend. Straight GOAT. I used to watch him pitch in his front yard.
Are you posting any clips from this on your Instagram, Ant?
I don't know. Once we hit 3 hours, the website doesn't automatically generate clips anymore. But shout out the GOAT. Respect the GOAT.
I say you got to save the timestamp, man, because
That's
this was
it. That's
incredible.
great.
Because we're talking about your friend Jack. That like, oh my god, it'd be so cool if he comes and plays for my team. Nope. Anthony's neighbor is the one who
Bailey
gets
Falter
traded.
goat. But honestly, when I go on Twitter, everyone just hates on him, which makes me sad because he's a goat.
Best athlete to come out of Chino Hills High.
Probably the most games played.
God bless. But to get to the actual merits of this is, Falter's had good stretches, never been the most consistent guy. And Kansas City, for whatever reason, when they hired their new head of pitching development, has suddenly become like a really good pitching team for no reason. I kind of like it. I mean, the Royals, they need hitters, but I like the move because who thought Chris Bubich was going to be a good starting pitcher here?
Really? But what do we think about Sandy Alcantara? Or Tara? I know I probably just butchered that name, but I know I butchered it.
The other company I used to work for, in 2022, my dad kept bugging me. He's like, is Julio Urias going to be a Cy Young winner? So I had to bring it up every time we did our weekly show. So I learned how to say Alcantara perfectly.
How do you say it?
Butchering it for a while.
How do you say it?
Just Alcantara.
Alcantara.
Yeah.
Alcantara. Sources confirm. Yeah.
I don't know. He's been so weird. I've been saying this for a month now, and I think it's his pitch grips that are kind of messing with him.
Yep.
A little bit here. Is the movement just not the same from his Cy Young winning season to this one? Like, I understand the Stuff Plus is still very good, but the profile of the pitches themselves have changed a lot. So I've been saying just get him to a team that needs a lot of good pitching, and you'll be fine. But I don't think the Marlins, they're in a weird spot. They're asking for Cy Young prices for who has statistically been the worst starting pitcher in the league qualified. So They're going to hold on to him. I don't think Alcantara is going to get traded.
Yeah, I also don't think Mitch Keller's getting traded now that Falter was just dealt.
Nope. It's okay.
So, not going to lie, a pretty boring I'd say for the hype that it was getting. It hasn't lived up to that hype, but it's been a good deadline. And speaking of Alcantara, Bob Nightingale, Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara is the number one pitching prize on the market, is staying put in Miami, at least until this winter. You can take him out of any mock trades that you have. Sandy Alcantara is officially staying a Miami Marlin.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot better, and I think to boost his value right now is exactly what the Marlins need to do, because their hitting core is not like the worst. Now the pitching's gone. They have a weird seesaw. When they hit, they can't pitch. When they pitch, they can't hit. So now it's starting to teeter in the other direction where they can hit, but they can't pitch. And more importantly, now that Walter has been traded, it's going to be about, I'll give it 12 minutes before they announce Bubba Chandler will be joining the Pirates rotation.
Who do you think else gets dealt? Because you've got Edward Cabrera, Zach Gallen. Oh, I got to put Ryan O'Hearn's trade in here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
I think Zach Gallen's getting traded for sure.
Who?
I think he goes to Boston.
Okay, and we have two things right now. You want the one with your Dodgers first? Oh, my gosh. Wow. The Boston Red Sox are acquiring right-handed pitcher Dustin May from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jeff Passan can confirm. Reds. Hey, Ant, can you put all these in the chat? The Red Sox for Dustin May. Padres are acquiring left-handed pitcher Nestor Cortez Jr. from the Brewers. Padres again. And then the Reds from the Athletics. Wow.
Finally, Miguel Andujar has been traded. They have to have gotten Aaron Judge.
Oh, my gosh. That was a crazy. Wow. We go from dead silent to are we getting another trade? Well, we knew we were getting another trade. But to that.
Do you think Nestor Cortez is scared to see Freddie again? Because I think he's scared to see Freddie again.
Yeah. So let's start with the Dustin May trade. He's going to Boston. Did you think, as a Dodgers fan, they were going to trade Dustin May?
Yeah, Dustin May was gone.
Yeah.
100% Dustin May was not staying. I love the stuff. Don't get me wrong. I know the term gets thrown a lot, but it's like truly the only stuff I would describe as video game like in baseball, because of just it moves so much with a lot of velocity. The problem is he was never going to be a good starting pitcher. It's impossible for him to control. It's way too much of a burden on that right arm of his. So I thought he would be like a great reliever for the Dodgers. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to be a reliever. And with the fact that the rotation's getting healthy, I like Robleski a lot more than I like Dustin May. It had to be done. It's just curious that Boston would buy him of all teams. I understand he looked great for like 5 innings against them and then absolutely imploded in the 6th. And, they don't have the best history with Dodger reclamation pitchers. I love you, man, but Walker Buehler has not been that for Boston. It's a very weird trade. I don't even know who the Dodgers would get back.
Yeah, and I do want to add in a part. Jeff Passan said it was confirmed. Ken Rosenthal is saying otherwise. Ken Rosenthal is saying that it is close to being confirmed.
Yeah, let me look at the Red Sox prospects here. I mean, this
Yankees.
is a classic.
Oh, I knew he was getting traded. Jose Caballero. I think I said it earlier. He was my sleeper guy to get traded. Wow. I knew it. Wow.
There's your Anthony Volpe replacement. It had to be done.
Yeah. Going back to Pirates for Bailey Falter, left-handed pitcher Evan Sisk, and first baseman Callan Moss.
Yeah, because as much as I joke about it, no, truly, the World Series broke Anthony Volpe.
Yes.
He wasn't like the best defender at shortstop, but he was always a very good defender at shortstop. And I understand errors are not everything. I am the analytics guy for a reason. But, to make that many errors, especially throwing errors, yeah, it's not been a great look for Volpe. So let's see.
Who are the Red Sox top 30 prospects?
Yeah, -5 outs above average at Volpe, for short at Volpe, compared to 14 last year. Yeah, I think what happened very clearly had an effect on Volpe, and he has not been the same since. And in Caballero, they get someone who runs fairly well. They get a good defender. Yep. They get someone who does not square up the ball that wrong. Damn, I'm sorry, Ant-Man. But, he takes his walks. He gets what he can out of that very small frame. So Lockridge.
Yep.
They gave up Lockridge?
Oh.
The Hialeah kid? What is going on?
What's his rank?
Okay. But, yeah, just going back to Caballero for a second. He gets what he can out of that small frame. He'll take his walks. He's a good defender at short. Yeah. Rangers close to get. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's. All right, we got to be quick with this now. We got to be on top of everything.
I know. What's his rank? What's in the majors?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe.
Little traction in. Looks like Zach Gallen is going to stay. Taylor Rogers
has been traded again. And oh my, Adrian Hauser is a Tampa Bay Ray.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Taylor Rogers is basically, let's see if we can get him to St. Louis, every NL Central team at this point. 3 of the 5 teams in the division within 48 hours within 24 hours is wild.
So, Adrian Hauser is going to the Rays. Taylor Rogers is going traded again.
That is the most Tampa Bay Rays thing I have ever heard.
I know. Let's see what else we got here. Brandon Lockridge. Lockridge stuff.
Oh my goodness. All right, who else?
Nothing.
Of course, now is when MLB Network decides to take a commercial break.
And now in a few minutes.
Phil Maton is officially a Texas Ranger. Good for them. The bullpen did need some help. And at this point, if you can't score runs, let's make sure the other team doesn't.
Right.
Actually, I need to text my friend because she does not like Dustin May. I want to let her know the news. You're free. I know everyone's just looking at everything now. But yeah, I'm curious what they see in Nestor Cortez like. I understand he was not as bad as he was in the first start against the Yankees, but he's still not been the best this year either. So, but they're very good at identifying under the radar pitchers. Oh, actually, we missed the most important swap of the deadline. I can't believe this one didn't come up. That the 9 Inch Nails and Foo Fighters are trading drummers.
Oh.
Silly me. How could we not talk about that one? They're showing the reaction. I think Cabello got the news. Hugging all his teammates. I feel for the man.
Yeah. Michael Bridge, 150 mil extension.
Okay. Nothing new from Passan. Oh, Heyman is so late.
I know.
But what else can we expect from Arson Judge Man himself? Nightingale's even later.
Oh my gosh. Ken Rosenthal's late too.
This is why we trust Passan in this stream.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Less than 4 minutes to go. Do you have any names you think can be dealt in the final 4 minutes here?
I'm gonna go to my Google Sheets thing. I'm thinking I'll give you 5. Zach Eflin.
All right.
Well, I'll try and give you 5. Joe Ryan is close to a deal. Dylan Cease, I'm going to take those 2. Those are easy bets. Griffin Jacks is my 3rd. Raisel Iglesias my 4th. And then, like I said, Zach Eflin. And Pete Fairbanks. So that's 6.
I just looked up Joe Ryan on Twitter to see if there's any rumors or anything. And I just see a tweet from a Red Sox fan in response to Dustin May news. It's like we got Joe Ryan if he was bad.
White Sox get Curtis Mead, a Rays guy.
Nice.
Fair trade. Fair trade.
And I think that is the most Thanos trade of the deadline because it's perfectly balanced.
Yes. Phil Mates. Oh my God. John Heyman is so late.
Oh my God.
He just put out Phil Maton to Rangers.
Oh, I love you, John, so much. For me, because you're just going through the timeline like crazy, and I saw someone unfollowing John Heyman was the best thing I've ever done around the deadline. And he went and he liked the tweet, and this was with an hour to go. I'm like, "What are you doing, John? Get on the phone."
Mark Feinsand said the Pirates will not be trading either Andrew Heaney or Dennis Santana by the trade deadline.
Stupid Pirates. Heaney, there was the time when he was the best left-handed pitcher in baseball, but he fell off hard. Dennis Santana, I think Dennis Santana should have been traded. I don't know if you're on the same loop I am, where it's Passan, Morosi, Rosenthal, Nightingale, back to Passan. Just trying to see.
Yeah, because then you've got Heyman tweeting things late. I need it back once you're done, though. Gotta have dinner somehow. He's gotta use my phone to order it. So we're going to Twitter on the computer.
That's what I'm doing.
At 6 o'clock. Really? We gotta take 5 minutes. Oh my! Camilo Doval traded to the Yankees per Jack Curry of Yes and Underdog.
Wow. Because I think we've all seen the Camilo Doval rumors, but the Yankees have built a super bullpen. Like, this is no exaggeration. Wow. This might be the greatest bullpen ever assembled. I mean, you don't need starting pitching if, you can go Williams to Weaver to Doval to Bednar to Tim Hill. Oh, my God. You'll always be a Dodger legend, Camilo Doval, in my mind. So take solace in that.
Makes me mad. Yankees are going to win the whole thing.
All right. We are final 10 seconds here, and then we'll start getting all the news.
Yes. Give it 10 minutes probably.
Yeah.
And we are out of here.
Unbelievable.
Tigers working hard for starting pitching.
For me, what that says is the starting pitching market was too high. It was too much.
Yes. And what that also says to me is Dylan Cease to the Astros is almost finalized.
What? No, I'm not. I don't trust you. Get off here, stupid.
You know what?
Because I saw a Dodger fan, as I'm refreshing the timeline, underneath the Jeff Passan tweet say Byron Buxton to the Dodgers. I'm like, okay, sure. I believe you on that one. Yeah, we got Byron Buxton.
No way.
I don't believe it. He's trolling.
Trade summary. Taylor Rogers. Pirates get Ivan Wertherauer.
We are officially past the deadline. Let's see what starts rolling in here. So sorry, Dodger fans, no Cody Bellinger.
I mean, we don't know that yet.
We traded Cody Bellinger for Tanner Scott.
Oh, Griffin Jacks to the Rays.
Oh, okay. I saw Charlie Morton to the Tigers.
Wait, what?
John Heyman. Charlie Morton is a Detroit Tiger. Wow. Now we're starting to get all the trickling in. But let's go Charlie Morton first here. I said they needed a starter.
Oh, wow.
I did not think it'd be Charlie Morton.
Who's pitching for the Orioles now? A random usher? Dude.
Oh, my goodness.
Darn, I can't even text the group chats, man. He took my phone.
Okay. Actually, who's delivering in that storm? Tip him well.
It's not that far from here, and the storm's actually stopped.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I swear, if Josh breaks news, I'm going to be so mad.
Louis Varland.
I hate when Josh breaks news. Of course, Josh
is going
news.
To the Twins, or is going to the Blue Jays from the Twins. But while we're waiting for stuff to come in, I will say Griffin Jacks. I did not expect the Rays to add a bullpen piece here, especially how they've been
Rays
slowing down a little bit from that incredibly hot June they had. I thought they would be sellers, but it's a Tampa Bay deadline for sure.
Yeah.
Looks, at least for the time being, it looks like everything's in. Doesn't look like we've got a bombshell.
Morton's gone. O'Hearn's gone. Laureano's gone. Mullins is gone. We get Padres 4th and 6th prospects.
It's in the hateful.
It's not hateful, but let's see. Ty France to the Blue Jays.
Wow. Okay.
Louis Varland back to the Blue Jays. Charlie Morton to the Tigers. Wow. My phone was gone for 3 minutes and 22 Twitter notifications.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, something's wrong with your phone.
I know. Hope tells me it's all static.
Yeah, it's like a psh.
I know. And I figured once I got home, I'd be able to call, but I couldn't.
But Ty France to the Blue Jays per Mitch Bannon, who's actually former Oriole Rylan Bannon's brother.
Nice. The Nationals did not trade Mackenzie Gore.
Nope. Okay, so Blue Jays get Louis Varland and Ty France. Twins get Kendrys Rojas and Alan Roden, an outfielder.
They traded Alan Roden?
Yes, they did.
For
Underdog
Ty
MLB.
France?
For Ty France and Louis Varland. Or Luis Varland.
What are they cooking in Toronto?
The Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring outfield prospect James Tibbs III from the Boston Red Sox, who was involved in the Rafael Devers deal.
See, when I was looking at the pieces, I'm like, did they get Tibbs? Because that's who I would have asked for. So I just know I do something right every now and then.
And all Caballero had to do was switch dugouts.
Yep, easy for him. Good on him. Yeah, there's just a Yankees fan. Williams, Bednar, Weaver, Cruz, Doval. Yeah, if they have a lead out to
the Astros are done. Talks with Dylan Cease were legitimate and at times picking up steam, but ultimately never got over the finish line. Dylan Cease is staying a Padre.
Wow. Reds get Miguel Andujar. They needed another bat in that lineup, so absolutely the right move for Cincinnati to make.
Stephen Kwan staying in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think once we saw the prices of hitters, it was going to be too much to move Stephen Kwan out of there.
Yeah.
And it's good for Cleveland anyways, is they're always kind of sneaky. They'll be back next year.
Remember, if you guys aren't already, go check out the Run the Play Discord. Trivia. Lots of fun. Sports talk. NBA. MLB. NFL. I'm going to join it myself after this. Just way too crazy to join it now. You don't want to miss stuff. Twins are getting Taj Bradley in the Griffin Jacks deal.
I don't hate it. I think that's a very good swap.
The Orioles blew up Taj Bradley and then blew an 8-0 lead.
God
John
bless.
Heyman, you're late again. He just said Griffin Jacks to raise.
So he's first on some stuff, but he's a fascinating reporter. I think looks like nothing crazy's coming in. I think we might have gotten everything. Good on. Well, barring something unexpected dropping, akin to my Zach Greinke getting traded while I'm in line at Jack in the Box story. Who is the winner just right off the bat at the deadline?
Padres.
I think they gave up too much for me to consider them a winner. I would have to say Houston for me. Their lineup was the weak spot of that team, and questionable fits aside and Jose Altuve at first jokes, that lineup has gotten a lot better. So Houston for me, I think, is the winner, begrudgingly so. But yeah, surprise, surprise, the two most active teams are the teams who won the deadline.
But let's give it a couple more minutes, see if anything else comes in, but I think we're done.
Yeah. And then we could do a quick loser while we wait, who is very clearly the Angels.
The who?
The Angels.
Yeah. I gotta say the Orioles. The Orioles are probably up there too, though.
As a loser, they got a lot of good
Probably.
pieces back.
True, yeah, good, true. But they're only 9 games under 500, so I don't even know why they're being counted out for the play. Well, I know why, but yeah, Red Sox not even close to acquiring Joe Ryan.
Yeah, I would say do you think you were legitimately a Mario Kelly and Alcantara away from competing in the AL this year?
I think if we were 4 games under 500, it would have been a bit different.
If you were getting hot at the right time, but
I mean, we are hot now. We still have not gotten the Carlos Correa deal.
yeah, what is going on there? Something's holding it up.
Something.
If it's the ankle, I swear to God, that would be the funniest possible outcome. So, yeah, the Orioles cannot be losers because they got too much going back.
True.
Yeah.
But I think they would have won the deadline if they got Lamar King.
They should have. No, instead, Anthony's neighbor is the one that gets traded.
Yeah. Or Mayfield, though. I would have liked to cash Mayfield.
Minnesota Twins, who are about $440 million in debt, erased a huge chunk of it by trading away virtually their entire roster in a matter of 12 hours. No wonder Correa wanted out. Yep. What private equity firm is going to buy the Twins? BlackRock. New owner of the Minnesota Twins.
But yeah, I think we are done with trades. It's been probably 5 minutes, if not closer to 10.
Yeah, we are at 10 minutes. Nothing crazy is broken. I think we are safe to assume nothing crazy has happened, especially with the news that Gallen, Alcantara, and Ryan are staying. I don't think we're getting anything major at this point.
The 2025 MLB trade deadline has come upon us. Some big names dealt were Eugenio Suarez, Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano. Merrill Kelly went to the Rangers, Willie Castor to the Cubs, Ryan O'Hearn, Padres, David Bednar, Yankees. Got a couple more here. Harrison Bader, Phillies, Mason Miller, Padres. Dylan Cease stayed with the Padres. Robert Suarez stayed with the Padres. Ozuna stayed with the Braves. Nothing on the pair of Tomoyuki Sagano and Zach Eflin. Charlie Morton went to the Rays, correct?
No, Charlie Morton went to the Tigers.
Tigers. I knew blue team.
Overall, they say the deadlines have been getting boring, but this one was exciting. A couple of great buzzer beaters. I, for one, cannot wait to see what these new players are up to. And if you want to bet what these new players are up to, got to plug it one last time. Use the code RTP on Boom Fantasy. Get a risk-free bet up to $100. If you think Carlos Correa is having that storybook homer in his return to Houston, definitely take that bet on Boom. But for everyone here at RTP, Jack, it was a pleasure. I hope your Orioles have reloaded properly enough and are ready to go for it next year because baseball is so much more fun when the Baltimore Orioles are good. I can tell you that much.
Yes.
But for everyone,
thanks everybody.
Thanks everybody
for watching today.
Deadline.